We're starting.
A lot of drivers out there, a very tight watch.
Yep, there it goes.
At times, and crew what's going to happen.
I was sending it to Restream, but not the individual, whatever services.
They got to be careful.
Gotcha.
60 laps going to be our first stage.
I think I just about got rear-ended there.
Get ready.
Yeah, almost.
Out those contact spots in first place at stage 10.
All right, buddy. Pace car's off. Close up a little bit if you can.
For third.
I'm just dodging wrecks here.
I get you.
They get just one bonus point. Base car is up. It's time.
Green flag.
Sim Design 200 to get underway. You're watching the Full Send Racing Series, Season 5, race number 3 on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We're into the green flag zone, and it's Will Bustler, Cameron Sarn revving it up. The 24th, the better launch as we roar into turn number 1.
Bustler didn't get a great launch, almost got into the side there of the 24. Sorry, a little bit of contact, but it's going to be the 14 and Chris Stevens. It's also going to try to take advantage of that. It's going to be Stevens starting side by side into turn number 3, and Bustler with a terrible start for himself. He's
Top 4 right now are all nose to tail.
Try to catch back up as Stevens goes to the lead.
Chris Stevens qualifies third, but he's going to have a quick enough launch to lead lap number 1 for the 14 machine. Chris Stevens has had some decent qualifying times the last couple of laps, and the last couple of races. He now lap 1 down. The 14's looking pretty solid as the rest of the field side by side going to be for 6th on and back. Jacob Brandt, Chris Stitz, John.
Top 8 now, all single file.
Now they're able to single file out with the rest of the field. There's a couple still side by side. They got to be careful here on the exit of 4.
You got to be careful there. It tightens up for you. It's going to be Campbell, Zach Hall doing battle with one another. Then you got the two of Jonathan Woods, Alex Jones, Travis Dart, all kind of on top of one another. Going to be there for about 11th on the back. It's kind of stacked up, looking to get it single filed out as it looks like 45. Alex Jones with a little bit of a bad run. It's going to battle here with the 26 Travis Dart.
And see the 32, Zach Hall thought he was going to win last week, had a malfunction, had an issue, entering the pit road, and blocked himself out where he was
Car clear the 10, he scrubbed the wall.
Get enough time to catch out right in. Can though with the win, and our second rookie this season getting a victory lane, expecting big things as they're seeing side-by-side action. Jonathan Woods, Travis Dart, all on top of one another. This is the battle for 12th position currently.
Yeah, they've been going at it here for the last couple of laps, those two side by side. Alex Jones was in that battle for a little bit, got a little loose off the 2, had to back out of it.
But in race management,
26 side by side. I think if you're Travis Dart, you're using up a little bit more tire than he likes to be using that outside line to try to carry that momentum, but he's finally going to be able to clear the 2 of Jonathan Woods there and fall in line behind the 32 of Zach Hall.
In line and driver that's side by side on the outside groove, Jacob Brandt. Jacob Brandt looking for one of his best starts so far. He qualified 11th at Daytona, then 20th last week at Chicagoland, finished 30th last week. Was open for his first top 10 finish. In 10th place, not bad for the 19 who qualified 7th here tonight.
No, not bad at all. He had speed last week. In that 19 machine, then got caught up in a couple of incidents late that kind of took him out of a chance at a good run there for himself. And looking back through the field, we got the 38 here, Christopher Norris, who's falling or trying to.
You're at least 10th faster than everybody behind you.
Clean Woods and that of Alex Jones as he makes his return to the Full Send Racing Series here tonight.
Christopher Norris coming back from vacation last week. A couple of other drivers have listed out bigger fields than that so far. As we want to see Christopher Melton, who was not going to start today's race, and as well, expect the 7 is Cedric Hunter, expecting him to be a start part here tonight. He is not going to be going full time for at least a couple more weeks. One driver does hit pit road. It's Doug Pearson, the 39, started on pit road and finally was able to roll off down.
Yeah, I think Pierce had some internet issues, finally able to connect and get rolling here. Ross Tatum in that 21 machine, or looking at him, he's got a little bit of a gap behind, in front of him to the 7th Cedric Hunter, and kind of a weird start for Ross, sending him down 24 positions from where he started all the way down here in 30th position.
There ain't a reason why.
Just a single line of conveyor belt of cars all the way up to the lead.
A lot of talking over the radio, and admins decided to give an EOL to the 21 after verbal conflict.
Yeah, looking what I'm looking at here, I'm thinking I'll just wait till tire difference is more of a factor.
Position.
Yep, let them come back to you. There you go. And as long as you stay pretty much on their backside, they're going to fall back to you pretty quick.
He lost the bet where he had to run a Barbie scheme. It was a team
battle right now for P6.
Category 5 esports when they were running the 24 hours of Spa.
Battle for the lead.
No, and that's the fact that Brady Colley actually gained the most instant points. That's the highest average per lap. that machine was forced to run a Barbie scheme. But as that scheme looks great, other battles that are looking great, up front, Will Bustler taking the lead over the 14.
And Bustler back to the front. Looking good up there. I mean, the trends say pole sitter. If you get the pole, lead the most laps, you're going to win this. And
Is there any kind of big breakaway?
lead the most laps.
No, not at all. Top two, they are
Falling back here a little bit.
second place right now is just a very, very mere 4/10 between Cameron Sarton and Chris Stevens. Leader right now, his last lap was 24:37. He's got 4/10 between himself and second place. So, nope, no big breaks.
Quick here this evening as John Dart ran 5. He sense looks like the run here at Dover as these drivers riding a roller coaster that's in their own hands and control. Trevor, I gotta say, this is certainly an interesting run as the 5 looking a little bit aggressive there on the entry.
Yeah, got in a little deep, kind of took it a little bit higher line there for himself through forward. It's such a fun track to drive. You can see the bumps and the change in kind of elevation. On
Leader's last lap was 23:94. Yours is 24 flat, so you're still just as quick as the leader.
Got to be careful not to upset the car, get into that outside wall, and then kind of down.
Car 2 in front, blinking a little bit.
We saw there with John Dart. That's a lap around here. Really quick lap, very kind of technical and bumpy to get around here quickly.
Perhaps ride every lap that you can as the 5 holding off Nick Holland, but Holland's having a little bit of trouble behind him because he's got Chris Stitz and Andrew Medlin behind.
There you go. He made the hole. You can fill it just as well.
Able to have anything, just to have a solid finish for the 17. They caught up a lot of breaks in multiple different leagues that he's been running this season. 17's trying to put battle on Nick Holland.
There you go. Clear up.
Andrew Medlin behind these guys. 12, another fast driver. Medlin won back in season 2, but that was when they were in the trucks.
And Medlin almost looked like he was going to go to the outside there on Chris Stitz. I think Stitz is a little bit faster than Nick Holland, but maybe just getting held up here behind that 13 machine. Hasn't found a way past him, though. You can kind of see the trying to take a different line. Medlin just trying to do the same thing as they kind of enter in low arc.
First and second, still maintaining the gap between them, and then second to third, about the same also.
In the train here behind the 13.
Ken Gamble, what you got? Biggest thing that this 15 took from last season was getting the pole. Was one of the favorites to actually win here, but was caught up with some shenanigans between himself.
You're a 10th and a half faster than the second car behind you, and almost 3/10 back, or 3/10 faster than the car 3 behind you. So all you got to do is worry about your race management, watch your tires. You're doing really well.
One spot before he qualified.
Yeah, start. I think that's all you can kind of ask for. Early in the race, get a couple of positions and then try to save the tires and see what
You don't need the spotter. I just told you the same thing.
The 6 there going to battle with 3 and 4. You got 22 John Burt. Sorry, there you got Ron Sherwood with 22 Jonathan Burt and 6 going to battle with one another. Brandon Colley there.
All right, caution's out. Trey Jackson, Rob Sherwood, a whole host of cars behind you.
Major collisions.
They are blocking, clogging up turns 1 and 2.
Wreck after what looked like just a
Thinking track position here, I'll take tires.
Yeah. They are. That was a big wreck. That was at least 10 cars.
It's self-cleaning track. You saw the cars go high and then bounce back down low because of the banking and 55 involved. I'm pretty sure I saw this.
Because I need a set for the stage, and then I need one additional after that.
That's a pretty big.
And then hold a set for the end.
55 with Trey Jackson involved. He's still filling.
Yep, only working like 20.
I could risk it here, but then I would be. If another caution came out, I wouldn't be able to get one.
And just
Right.
Trey Jackson.
So I guess you kind of see what these guys up here are going to do, and it looks like most are top 3 stayed out.
You're entering the corner. You're already on the brake for some, and no one had any time to slow down.
Alrighty.
We're getting the replay up for you. Thank you so much for joining
All right,
with
so that's going to
us.
pull you on up a
Brings out
few.
the first caution and probably one of the bigger wrecks we're expecting to see here tonight.
Yeah, if it were any more than 20, if it was something like 40,
Too soon out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
I don't
there's,
know.
yeah.
And Trey Jackson does a really good job getting clear to his inside. It's going to be the 11 there. That kind of.
All right, that's going to put you P12.
Gap and Becker trying.
because I feel like I saved pretty good, and with everybody staying out here in front of me, I might be able to work up a few more positions.
Really kicks off this.
Oh, yeah.
See a lot Ryan Lynch involved. Sherwood nowhere.
So you'll be restarting on the outside. Be pretty good. Should go back green 23-24.
Yeah, and some wrecks. I mean, the vehicle
Stage is lap 60.
right back across the track and nowhere to go. Ross Tatum just
Not too shabby.
in time.
And I got some blockers behind me, so that helps.
Excellent wreck for a lot of these drivers, and we're gonna get a sense of one of these
Yeah,
drivers.
let's see who just came down.
Really,
Looks like from P20 on back.
Higher. You can actually see a little bit better of the shot, but
That
he
wrecked.
just has no
That wreck
there.
hurt.
Just instant-
Let's see, 1,
Yeah,
2,
I
3,
just watched
4,
it.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that wreck took out 8 cars.
He was still full throttle going to the
Two are completely
all
out.
that chaos happening in front of him. Just no
3 now out.
check up. No
Ross Tatum, Brian Wilson, and William Duff.
See all the damage.
Now add in.
Machine. That's going to be a long night for the rest of him, or for himself. And
Oh, Ross Tatum, that was a fast driver.
Drivers given
Yeah.
required damage for themselves, and Cedric Hunter might be already calling it a night as he is pulled.
Now he's saying he's back in.
Ryan Lynch,
Pit
Jay
road is
Beckard,
closed.
and Rob Sherwood required damage.
That's
on
weird.
top of that, Rob Sherwood.
I wonder if they
calling
had.
it a night here this evening after
Oh,
he was
in the back
immediately
zone.
involved with it. Ryan Lynch, Jay Beckard hoping to get.
Oh, yeah, his whole right rear is pushed in.
Some drivers though taking this opportunity. We're only 22 laps into this race as you're just showing
Interesting.
perfect time. We still got plenty of racing.
Do you have my stream up? Is audio working?
Still in stage.
Yeah, audio's fine.
Stage 1 finishes off.
Nice. I had to fix it today.
60, and some of the front runners deciding to take.
It turned out to be a mistake on my part, not a driver issue. So I got a new mixer channel so I could feed everything into that so I could
Yep.
hear monitoring if I wanted to. And when
Right.
I did that in OBS, I did monitor and mute output.
20th.
And I needed to do monitor and not mute output. So basically I
Gotcha.
was muting all my channels.
Be important to have.
Gotcha. Well, you got it sorted. I
I'm gonna be
don't know if I would have figured that out that quickly.
Oh, it took me a little while to figure it out. I was like, why is it not working? Because my meters are, bouncing around and everything's looking good, but it's just not coming through the stream.
cars, so they got a little bit more work to do for themselves. We'll have to see how quickly they can get through the field and what the speed advantage is going to be on those 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, this is the key thing I'm more curious about.
All right,
What
man,
is
we're
the
going
speed
green
difference
Yeah, see, last night I couldn't hear the broadcast or anything when I mentioned that
compared to the rest of the field?
there was nothing.
That came into pit road. David McConnell going to be the first of those. Ross Tatum's the first of those that came in with damage repairs. We're caught up in that wreck, so that's 24th all the way down to 34th position. Drivers that are getting repaired.
Good thing I didn't take tires. That would have put me
on
back in
A
19th.
while back. Yeah.
stacked up, getting the 1 to go marker of pace guard. Turning off the lights. It's going to be Will Bustler, Chris.
All right, again, so restarting up high. It's going to be Chris Norris below you, Tony Brent, and Alex Jones behind you.
20 laps in the book before our first wreck comes out. And will we
John
see
Woods and Zach Hall in front.
here with drivers on different sets of tires? The speed difference is going to be great, and it's time to see how these drivers can handle the rest of stage 1.
Get ready.
Of lap 60, the yellow will be thrown. Top 10 drivers get bonus points. So you're watching.
All right, man.
Pace car's pulling
Same
off.
cars in.
Race number 3 of the season for the Impact Sim Design 200 at Dover. Pace car's about to pull off, giving this indication
Green, green,
that
green.
Go, go, go.
hands of Will Bustler in the 1 machine on the inside. Chris Stevens on the outside has to wait to get in the
Inside.
restart zone.
All
And it's
clear,
time
all
for the drivers to
clear.
roar once again. Here we go. The 1 gets a great launch. The 14, a little bit of a shimmy as they roar down in front for 1.
Also with a much better restart this time around, covers off the 14. Steven's going to go high, see if he can get one. It's going to open the door from the 4 starting. That's going to be the battle.
2 car outside, about a half a groove up.
We'll come up and cover off the 14, so we're starting up to second.
there.
Everybody's single file out until we get back to Zach Hall, who's side by side with the 19.
19 outside.
It's going to be 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's all going to be side by side, or side by side.
Still there.
Well, most and see how it's possible. Sticks by to ground.
Still there.
Pressure tires behind them immediately
All
on
clear.
Clear all the way around. Good job.
It's getting low able to already balance 3 positions. He's up to 17th at this time. That's going to be a long, consistent, slow
All right, looks
push,
like you're in the top
making this
10.
pass each and every lap. As Cameron Sarton's going to get by Chris Stevens. It's now a waiting game. Who is going to attack up front, or do you continue to protect these tires? For our front 3, they really pulled out a big advantage for the rest of the field before that caution flag came out. So now we're watching what are their tire states looking like, and Nick Holland taking advantage here.
It's going to be interesting to see the tire difference between the guys that have stayed out, what their tire difference is between one of the
3.5 tenths faster than P11.
who kind of use their stuff up a little bit. And then also how quickly is it going to be for Cole Sacchetti and those guys to get up through the field. Right now, I got to say, Sam Will Bustler in that clean air, looked really quick in that 1 machine over the 24 Cameron Sargent and Chris Stevens, 14 and Chris Stevens.
Yeah, looking quick. Fastest car on track is Cole Sicchetti in the 40.
Single file all the way up to the lead.
Brent
Top three right now, a little bit of separation back to P4.
well over Jake Grant. And
Caution's out.
the moves as fast as possible. Looking good, but a driver behind having issues. It's the Ford machine of David McConnell spinning around on the front stretch.
Dave McConnell's
Doesn't look like
gonna have the
Yeah,
issue
I
here.
didn't know if you
you're
checked
gonna
up a little more.
Working lap 28.
I don't know.
looks like he might have gotten into the inside wall.
Cole
Alright,
with
the
new
guy-
tires got up to 13th.
Looks like a single.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Yep, Cole Sachette up to 13th. Travis Dart is in 15th,
Almost touching the apron and just
and then 17th is gonna be John Dart,
the exit on that lip.
and then back to
contact
P-
himself.
P21-22 is where the new tires really start to stack up.
Which is rare for
Yeah, I tried to
regular
jump off.
So you still got a little bit of gap there.
Small check up and just
See that
couldn't move
little
fast
bit
enough.
when it's
Sorry
starting
about
to
that.
nudge up on the hill.
I hope they stay out.
A little bit too soon, and Ford machine sees the pit red just kick out immediately for himself.
It's mixed.
One of those things where he's automatically
So you end up P7 here.
damage, and now settling.
Yeah, my tires are good right now, and I like track position, so
road, get that car fixed.
Track position is key. Absolutely.
Oh,
I take tires and go back there, then I'm in the wreck.
5.
Possibly.
Maybe Sam looking from that replay camera.
I mean, John Dart, one of the drivers that had 4 fresh tires, makes sense if he ran over the 4 and
got the lucky dog.
spun him around. That's why it looked so quick when he got himself in that little bit of a tap.
I mean that would make sense.
I mean, I'm going to lose a little bit to Cole and Alex,
Typically,
maybe Ross here.
you see
John.
him chase it up the hill before.
Still,
that thing just
hopefully I'll
shoots to the
keep
left.
top 10.
I think we found the culprit right there.
Well, right now you're up 17. You have gained the most spots of anybody at all,
A lot for these races.
and you're gonna have the reason. This will be your first restart on the bottom line, so you get a kind of a feel as to what that'll be like.
Send racing series.
And if you want, I can let you know when you're clear high as soon as possible, depending on where you're most comfortable.
Season 2, they went to the trucks. Season 3, they went back to the Xfinity car. Season 4, back to the trucks. And now, currently in Season 5, we're in the Xfinity car. And every time they've been in the Xfinity car, there have been 8 cautions. So they are keeping to the trends that cautions are known to happen in this vehicle.
Yeah, cautions are known, and cautions breed cautions. And while we were under caution, it's a lot of cautions in one sentence. Doug Pierce had an issue. Looks like he might have locked the brakes and got into the half spun into the outside wall in the 39 machine. So just more just kind of weirdness going on here and there.
You didn't happen to notice where Cole and Travis was passing everybody? Are they passing on the outside?
From 18th
I can go back and look.
to 25th.
Yeah, it'd be good to know, like, because I want to protect the inside as much as possible.
Chris Ditz, Tony
Okay.
Brent, and Joshua
Let's see.
4 tires and fuel as Brian L. Wilson, Tyler Thomas, Dave McConnell came into pit road.
And rewind this.
Trey Jackson to get tires, fuel, and repairs before they can get back out there on track. As we are hit the halfway marker before this stage is done. Stage break at the end of lap 60. So the drivers still have plenty of action to see who can be in those top 10 before this stage is over. And Cole Sicchetti looking quick, but he's going to have just that of a 20 lap advantage over Will Bustler.
He's low and high.
Instead of our top 9.
Just wherever he can.
That just came
Yeah,
in
wherever it'll fit. Yep.
9 lap advantage.
Mostly
John Dart. Well,
mostly high.
I think that's gonna be a fun battle with if Cameron Sarton.
He passed about 5 cars up high and a couple down low.
When they get up to, Ross Tatum, John Dart.
Good to hear, because if I can keep the bottom,
Speed
then that doesn't open the door to an equal tire to me. I don't think an equal tire could pass me on the
All right,
outside.
man, we're going
set
green
us up
next
for
time. Bye.
There you go.
All right, man, line
last
up on
30
the
laps here in
inside
the
row.
stage, same with all the different tire strategies.
yeah, and it also kind of makes you a little bit more terrified in some fashion.
Yeah, so it's, again, the newest tires are lap 20. Like you were just saying, Cole Sachette and Travis Dart.
Happening.
Then John Dart a couple back, as well as Ross Tatum. And then the first that came down on lap 29 is going to be Cameron Sarton back in 18th.
What are you expecting?
I got a new tire directly behind me, don't I?
Laps before we're done with this stage.
I don't want to.
Cole Sachette, yeah, he's right there, yeah.
Caution, Sam, just based off of the tire differences.
Hope we don't take it 3 wide.
He's up on the outside. You got the 19 right behind you.
Work their way through the field, but I think.
Oh, okay, 10-4.
See what's going to happen with the 42 and the 24. How close
Hell, he might still take it 3 wide. I don't know.
one another for the stage win. I don't think Will Bustler, Chris Stevens, Medley.
Well, it depends on what kind of jump he gets on the 19.
The guys on
And if the 19 can stay on your bumper, he won't have much for you. Pace car's off.
And we have another quick stint.
Good luck.
Before we have another caution that can stack things up once again on who takes another extra set before the stage is done. Pace
Green
car's
flag.
up, getting ready for the impact sim zone.
Little tire spin.
Into the
Little bit.
right zone. Will
All good.
Chris Stevens ready to be the control drivers once again. Another great launch for the one, but the rest of the field, a little bit of stack of traffic.
42 trying to set to get to your right rear.
Field's got to scatter.
Yeah,
He's there.
back half of the field is right where
He's gonna be blocked up high, and that guy came on down.
who just took tires. That's where they all are. So that's going to stack all them up.
All right, you're clear up. You want to follow him?
Work that out. But up front, Cole Sacchetti going to use that outside line, and here he comes. Sam used the outside line to his vein. Back here, that's where all that battle is. Curtis Waleczka getting past there by the 17, the 13 to Colin, Chris Stitz at 44, falling back through the field on these guys as these guys get by him on pressure tires.
Yeah, those that just came in their road for fresh milk, they are going to be screaming quick for those that have not. Obviously, the first victory.
To right rear.
Quickly, but up front, Cole Sacchetti, he's on the move.
Clear up.
Wants to take the lead as soon as possible, at least get a lap led.
42's kind of bogged down.
Side trying to get the pass on Christopher Norris in 38. Setting up 10 fans.
Oh, go left. Go left. There you go.
Robert.
Good job, sir.
Caution is out. Caution is out. Fresh tires.
And Dart, see the back of the picture making a
Caution's out.
but they're wrecking. It's Norris and Cole Sacchetti in the 4.
Sacchetti up in the outside.
That sucks for Cole.
Trying to hold
Yeah.
steady. Christopher Norris parks it up on the outside.
I kind of witnessed that happen in slow motion.
And Valechka able to completely squeeze.
Usually the way it works, and you're like, oh, okay, where do I go?
Caution and
But they didn't bounce off the wall. And this is usually a self-cleaning track, but they were just still going too fast.
Let's chill.
What exactly got them into that scary situation?
Yeah, I didn't see it happen. You know,
Take a look at the front end of that 42, see what he's looking like.
3, and I think another case.
Yeah, he's all pushed in.
His old tires and maybe just trying to be a little too close to another causes
His McDonald's fries are all crunched up. He's going down pit road.
just not given enough room. Maybe down the back straightaway gets those cars hooked together, and there they go.
I don't know if that was the right call staying out, but
Initially, and
Cautions breed cautions.
we're going to have to see a
I
different.
know, man. I don't want to be in a wreck on lap 30 something, you know.
Yeah.
Or
I get
maybe
you.
There was a little bit of quote unquote.
I'd rather be passed and finish top 10 than.
Because I know that
Plus, we're racing for stage points anyway, so.
of recent of drivers getting into contact.
Zach Hall and everybody just put it there. They're dropping back.
I think this might be another one of those wind incidents that's popping up.
Now, Travis Dart sitting back in P7 is the first one that came in on lap 20. The first car that came in on lap 29 is going to be Cameron Sarton sitting in P9. And it's kind of a mix between lap 20 and 29 behind him.
Damage repaired, and that's going to be a lot of track position lost for both of them.
Major track position lost as
Let me know where Zach Hall comes out at.
so
Okay.
awkward just snapping right there is when it just snaps across.
Right now, it's showing 21st.
And for Cole Sacchetti, I mean, this is not
See,
what
that
he thought
that would have
was
been
running.
putting me in 23rd. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Pressure tires in the field,
Took me that amount of time to get up to where I'm at now. I don't want to go back.
run away into
I don't blame you. Cole Sachet, he's still on pit road trying to get some damage fixed. So looks like I'll let you know if he goes a lap down here in just a moment.
already.
Yeah, they were working their way up through the field after that kind of.
I know Will, the leader, he's pretty good.
Everybody got composed in the back half of the field. They were marching their way through the field. I think that would have been a.
I don't know the other names around me.
They've got right in front of them. John.
All right, 42 came on out just ahead of the pace car, so he's going to be able to stay on the lap.
And so, how quickly will they be able to get by them? But you know, if we keep having.
All right, so Will Bustler is sitting at just about a 2,500 I rating, 2484. Chris Stevens, 3629.
Yeah, able to save a set of tires if they can keep this pace kind of
Jacob
going.
Grant is going to be behind you, along with John Woods and then Alex Jones.
Also able to keep themselves in a pretty good spot for an extra set of tires later on in the race. But based off what we're seeing right now, you might not want to be in the back half or middle of the field. We've seen drivers just running into one another.
Broadcaster just said the same thing. You do not want to be in the back half of the field right now.
Andrew Medlin, Cam. Well, we've got a few other ones.
Heck no.
we have ourselves here 6th place runner Alex Jones. And it's going to be one of our.
They got somebody's in-car cam pulled up.
There for the Full Send Racing Series. We also got a couple of others that will be showing off, but good to see new faces out
Can't tell who it is.
in the 45, having a good run.
Freaky Fast. That's I got the logo on my screen. FREEKY.
Okay, yep, I see it.
Yep.
See if we can
Gotcha.
get pressure here on Jonathan Woods.
On Twitch or YouTube?
As we get back going. It's nice not to just have the Medlin cam now. We have other drivers that we can check in on and see how they're doing throughout the course of the night. Maybe get
All
a
right, back on the bottom line again. 19 to your outside.
To the focused side.
2 John Woods, Alex
The
Jones.
one to go marker, Will Usler.
You're going to have a great shot of the restart.
He was able to be one of our.
Watch the wheel spin again.
Far because of everyone coming into pit road. The 8 is now up to 3rd after qualifying in 24th. Interesting to see how the 8 is now going to perform being up front. With this restart, 3rd position, not a bad spot to be, especially with the leader being right in front of you.
No, not a bad one at all. If Will Bustler can get a good start here, and McCain can time it well, he might be able to clear the 14 of Stevens. We saw that with Cameron Sarton when he started right behind Will Bustler a couple of restarts ago. So maybe McCain can get that lucky. Maybe he'll have a little bit of speed here to go up and challenge that one of Will Bustler, because once Bustler's gotten out in front, Sam, he's been kind of untouchable when he's been on the same set of tires as everybody around.
All right, bud. Pace cars make it left.
We got ourselves some fans of the Texas Speed drivers furthest up. 14th position going to be Tony.
Good luck.
In that 28 machine, Tyler Thomas is going to be back in 15th. So watch out, see if they can make their climb. Moving forward, a fresh rubber, but Will Bustler, Chris Stevens,
Clear up.
restart zone for the Impact Sim Design 200 at Dover. We're back to green flag action as the one fabulous launcher himself, Ryan McCann, trying to get rolling, but it looks to be Stevens holding steady for 2nd.
Yeah, Stevens had a really good restart there, was able to hold off McCann, and guy actually gets to the rear bumper here, the one on Bustler, just doesn't have enough momentum off of 2 or off of 1 and 2 to get a run on him. We're going to have the second line. Back behind them, here comes Travis Dart on those fresh tires. He's closing up to the back end of the 45 with Alex Jones.
Caution's out.
Done right behind that Travis Dart. Here comes the 20.
All right, 19 laps to the stage break, 18 as you come across this time.
Climbing in the top 5, but they're going to have to wait. Caution flag waves as driver having issues. It looks to be the 42 again of Cole Sacchetti, and this damage looks
42 wrecked again. Cole.
Bad night gone worse for the 42 of Cole Sacchetti. That's one of the cases there, Sam. A mistake can kind of snowball into bigger mistakes. Looking here at the replays, the 42 looks like Velechka just trying to stay high there.
All right, Travis Dart was able to work his way up to P6.
The wind is attacking. That's the 3rd time that it's happened. It happened on caution 1.
First car that came in on lap 29 is going to be Cameron Sarton sitting P8.
Headache for them here tonight, because you're not safe if you're just driving next to somebody.
And
Cameron had
like,
damage.
I'll go back and look.
He did anything wrong there. I mean, it's just a case of a pretty strong gust of wind that sends the 42 up.
No, he's clean.
And that's going to be a terminal night there, I believe, for the 42 of Cole Sacchetti, who is one of the heavy favorites coming in.
Not even a scrape on the wheel well or anything.
Going for the 42, and a lot of these drivers hoping that this race would have been a little bit more clean and green. But for tonight's race, these drivers dealing with a little bit of a hotter track. Ambient temperature going to be 78 degrees, track temp 112. We're talking about wind. Well, virtually the wind is around 10 to 11. It has climbed up almost 15 miles per hour. Luckily, it's dropping. The field is open. That will maybe go down to 1, and that way we won't worry about any more of this invisible contact.
Yeah, I'm sure the driver
broadcast is talking a lot about the weather and track position, or track temp and all that. Track temp right now is 112, air temp 78, and wind is 10 mile per hour.
I mean, that's part of it, Sam. That's things you've got to deal with in the sim, and
hot.
It's going to come to a chance of getting a win here tonight.
Cole Sacchetti going to be all the way back in 26th position, dealing with damage. Luckily, it's not required damage, but still going to have to get those repairs done. Up front, though, Will Bustler, Chris Stevens, Brian McCann, Jake
Sim time 1:30.
Jonathan Woods still yet to
heat of the day.
Add to that collection of drivers is Alex Jones, as well as Philip Chavez. Hoping to save a set before the stage break is done, which our stage break at the end of lap 60. But if there is a caution between the laps of 55 to 60, that will count as a stage break for these drivers. So
Pit road is
everyone
closed.
is in the knowledge that we're probably
The way we're doing cautions here, I wonder how many people are just not going to pit the stage.
stage being done.
Which is exactly what you were saying before the race kicked off.
Those points, Trevor, I'm curious if that's also maybe a little bit of influence on why we're seeing some of these wrecks.
I'm already locked into the playoffs, so
The last couple of seasons,
I'm racing for points, playoff points here. So I just need to do what I can. You know, the stage is the most important part for me, I believe.
halfway through a stage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those points go further.
Halfway through a stage, you're gonna have drivers come in.
Let's see. It looks like you'll go back green lap 46. Lights on the pace car are still on.
But you know, hopefully we can get through the rest of the stage and see how this is going to play out, because I know it's got to be so frustrating for drivers like Travis Dart, Cameron Sarton, John Dart, Chris Stitz, those guys on fresh tires, that they're not making any progress through the field here.
No, they have not been able to make as much progress as they were initially hoping that they would. We were to get some green flag racing action. Now, the first 20 laps was great green flag racing action. It's been cautions breeding cautions, and this is what Dover can sometimes bring out. A racetrack with the name of Miles the Monster, you expect it to be a tough course for these drivers to handle. But Trevor, what are the other aspects of this track that makes it so difficult once we go green?
All right, man,
You
we're
got
going
to deal
green
with
next
the
time by.
concrete eats
All right,
the
man,
tires
line
left.
up
So you
on
got to deal
the
with the
inside
tire
row.
wear. The cars can be, depending on how you drive it, they can be loose off the corner, they can be tight off the corner, depending on where you pick up the throttle. And just getting by each other, it can be so difficult. You can use the outside line to pin the guy on the inside down, use the momentum to your advantage. So it's just a tough track in all aspects, just to get around it.
Well, now we're going to have to give it another try. We've had 4 quick cautions back to back. A few laps here or there. We've been able to run green. We're hoping that we can keep it green to the end of this thing, because we're going to be having ourselves a 15-lap run.
Are the 1 and 14 on the same team?
Top 10 drivers get
That you know of?
stage points. And we know
Not sure.
There's a few
Okay.
that got some fresh rubber. Some that just
The 14 got a really good restart before.
Also get some
Wasn't quite sure of saying, or if the one was saying, go, or whatever.
Get some tires and repair.
Yeah, there are teams in here, so it's possible.
Get ready.
And Tree Jackson.
All right, pace car's gonna pull off.
Newest drivers to just take tires.
All right, man.
Up front
Pace cars
is Travis Dart with some of the freshest tires of those
All right, get ready.
in this
Close up
group.
Ken a little bit.
Hustler Chris Stevens paired and ready for takeoff as
Green
And
flag,
go.
green flag.
pit
I had
road.
to check up.
Gotcha.
Start zone.
1 minute,
The Maxim Design 200 is about to be back underway. Green flag is in the air. The one gets a decent launch for himself. It looks to be everyone in that third row that's having the issue.
Much better restart than before. You're still right there.
Jacob Grant, but everybody now getting single filed out. It's going to be side by side between that of Jonathan Woods, the 26, and Travis Dart. It's going to be Dart on the freshest tires, trying to get up through the field. He's got the 24, Cameron Sarton right on his tail as those two, the freshest setup tires, trying to work their way through, closing in on the 18 with Grant. This is not, I think, what the one of Bustler and all these guys in front of them want to
All right, 26
fresh tires.
coming on up. That's Travis Dart. He's got newer tires.
Here going into 1 and 2, but the outside lane looking strong. But it's Travis Dart who makes the move.
Got one
The
outside.
in and out machine
26 right rear.
get the lead
Stay low.
position.
Door.
Same hungry.
Clear.
Clear, all clear.
Spot. It's Chris Stevens on the lead position as the tires with fresh rubber trying to make their way through the field. Watch out, we're about to see some collisions because Will Bustler's going to hold off Chris Stevens.
24
Got
Cameron
one
Sarton, same
outside.
thing. New tires.
And his
Right rear.
two-time
Stay
champ
low.
Cameron Sarton, who just moved into the top 5.
Door.
Three wide, they think
Still
better
there.
of it coming into turn number 2, and it's going to be that of Travis Dart, going to get around the 14
All
of
clear,
Stevens,
all
heading down
Tight.
7.
for the
Yes, I saw that.
See if you can get around the one of Will Bustler, and here comes that 26. You see the grip difference in the tires as he gets to the
All right,
outside.
17 on the gas, out high.
He's going to
Still
look to
there.
the inside maybe of that of Chris Stevens. We got
At
to
your
Still
door.
there.
Ford King
94 behind you.
Dart as he's looking focused, trying to run this one machine and gets him cleared out of
Still
turn number
there.
2.
94 right rear, tight.
Lead and now has to hold off. Another drivers are on
All
blue
clear,
line.
all clear.
26 in and out machine feeling comfortable and good. Was
Got one
safely
outside.
navigate his
5 car coming up, right
Still
rear.
there.
as
Door.
tires first new. Next driver he's got to worry about
Still
though.
there. Hold your line.
Still there, right front,
Clear
clear.
high.
On
Clear
the
high.
charge, he's now up to 3rd place, and Chris Stitz, probably looking like the most visible driver that's been making some pretty aggressive moves, and Josh Altus, they are just splitting drivers on their way forward.
Yeah, Stitz and Altus have been more
28,
Side,
than
the
left rear.
lead to
Sorry, kind of
24.
took it easy.
Door.
1, 3,
Stevens, but now going to be
8,
aggressive,
stay
get to the outside of the one of Will Bustler.
Still
That's going to be for second.
Hold on to it.
It's
13 inside.
They about went 3 wide. That was scared me.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they were very, very close. Definitely, I think they thought about it. 12 left rear. Door clear. 15 inside.
Stay high.
Trying to figure out where the comfort zone's going to be. Will Hustler just a sitting duck.
Stay
But
high.
those have so
Kind of wish I had tires now.
That is what
Right.
the 30-lap disadvantage looks like.
8 to go to the stage. Clear
all
low.
clear.
This makes the pass up to fourth place. The one falls to first, but drivers are on some of the newest
I'm trying to
tires.
get
But it
out
ain't
of the way.
just you that's falling back.
As the 28 is making the charge, and as well, Andrew Medlin. Medlin is on the freshest tires of everyone inside our top 10.
Brent, the Daytona winner, on that same strategy as Cameron Sarton. Those guys working his way through the field, but Medlin came down on lap 36. He's got the freshest tires, like you said, out of everybody working his way through the field. And they were almost 3 wide there for a second, Sam, and a great recognition from Nick Holland in the 13 to back out of that and not make that a 3 wide situation.
Point to see who's going to take the top positions. Top 10 positions are on the line, and the lap 60 will be our stage break, and only the top 10 drivers get bonus points. That's why we're seeing some of these aggressive passes going on. Ken Campbell going to be the buffer driver as he's trying to set up to get by Nick Holland, who also is trying to be a little bit wary as Tony Brett with the bad entry to turn 1.
Yeah, Nick Holland, I mean, again, on that same strategy as the guys up in front of him.
11 right rear.
It's only going to be that of about
Door.
or so. You can see just the speed
Stay
difference
low.
between the
Clear, clear.
Clear
He's
high.
got to hold off Ken Campbell, Zach Hall, and those guys in front of him, and try to work his way a little bit forward, but losing a little bit of time to that of John Dart, Andrew Medlin, and one of Will Bustler, but Bustler really stacking everybody up here coming out of turn number 2.
Main reason why Will Bustler is defending it perfectly. He's having a very high entry point, which is forcing the drivers that are trying to make these passes. They are not allowed to go on that outside lane to set up for a pass.
A few more laps for the stage break.
That wall forcing him to lose some time, and Andrew Medlin, the quicker tires, the best tires out on track to 12, putting the pressure on and almost making contact with the exit of 2.
Got to be careful as Bustler gets a little bit loose, gets into the wall, and almost another 3 wide moment. Is they really on top of one another. John Dart to the inside of that of
The
Nick
leader
Holland.
did a
Not going to go 3 wide again, but again,
Where's the leader at?
Holland gets into
Leader, where is he?
28 of
Yeah.
Zach
He is going to 3 right now.
watching this unfold in front of him.
No risk going a lap down then, right?
Just
No, not at all.
the strike. We're certainly really testing the limits. We've seen some of the issues that have struck to bring out the most recent yellows, and seeing these drivers top one another, you just have a feeling that it's about to just bubble over, and we're going to have a major wreck strike. But we need this stage yellow to come out, as these drivers just have 3 more laps before our stage yellow comes out.
3 laps to go on the stage, and I got to say, Sam, I'm so surprised at how well Will Bustler has been able to hold everybody off. But this might be where the floodgate opens for him, as Nick Holland's going to get to the inside here in 3 and 4, and this could open the door for Ken Campbell. Zach Holland has
This
got
lap is the stage.
to get past this one machine. The defense has been valiant, but I think it's all going to come to an end here.
Able to hold on for 3 laps, but that's all the one can do. As this group continues to move forward, Will Bustler is in a scary spot because we got 2 laps left in the stage. Tony Brett is looking quick, so is Tyler Thomas. They can catch up to 1. They might be able to steal away these stage points at the end.
Might be able to get 1 or 2 stage points for themselves if they catch up. Bustler's just got to try to survive 4 more corners, but I don't know if those tires are going to hang on for him as they head down here into 1 and 2. Got about a 3 or 4 car length gap back to the 28 and the 11 as the 2 Texas speed teammates trying to close in on this one machine.
Of the battle for the lead, who's going to take the top spot at the end of this stage? Travis Dart trying to hold off the fresher tires behind him, but not able to do so. The 2-time champ, Cameron Sarton, steals the lead at the end, but they have to wait
There you go.
Line up
place
single
crosses
file.
the line.
Your road is
That's
closed.
Tony Brett
Catch up
currently,
14.
and the
Check
yellow
up on
flag
one,
comes
check up on
out.
one, check up
And
on one.
Travis Dart was so
Extra
close, I think he
car.
might have held on a second.
Yeah, so close to getting the stage win, and the last lap pass there on the stage for Cameron Sarton.
Nick Holland and Tony Brent
I think he let off a little bit going into 1 and 2.
having a little fun in front of you there.
Contact after the yellow flag.
Yeah, it was a little scary. I didn't know
Tony
what to do. Good thing there was nobody behind me because I started hitting the brakes early.
Actually, and Ken Campbell making late contact that brought out an incident after the yellow was thrown.
Just more.
Cole Shett involved in something a little bit later, right along with Pete Dillon and Philip Chavez. All right, pit road is open. Try to catch up if you can.
Not quite a top 10.
goodness here. When
Nope, I think that was P12
It's actually going to be ahead of these guys. You see
or 14, depending on what happens with that wreck.
here on the straightaway, which looks to be, again,
It's a 14
wind
car.
aspects that makes the wreck. But then the 13 is going to come rushing down, self-cleaning the 20.
All right, bring her on in. 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods. Split up.
He's trying to avoid. You see him letting off for a quick second.
35.
Flash of the gases and trying to sneak through the bottom, but the narrow window closes. And Tony Brent, Daytona winner, hard contact for himself.
Yeah, just not a smart move there from the 28. I mean, you see his teammate right there in the 11 going by, Tyler Thomas.
7281.
On the outside, and I think had he
7281.
lifted off, might have been able
Nice.
to make it through, but tried to shoot to the bottom to get clear of that. And we all know here at Dover, if you're wrecking at the
That's it,
top,
go.
you're going to come down to the bottom of it.
Clear out. Come on out.
Nowhere to go for the 28 as he
Go up
tried
towards the wall.
that wreck.
Just in one fell swoop. Our drivers caught up in a mess, but with drivers making their pit stops and getting back out on track currently, again, our stage winner will be the 24 of Cameron Sarton that just got done with his
There you go.
stop. Drivers
Line
staying
up, single
out, though.
file.
It's going to be Joshua Altus, Tyler Thomas, Peter Dillon, and Curtis Valechka. 4 drivers staying out on Boulder Rubber. See how well they can defend, but hey, let's throw it down and see if we can collect and talk to our stage winner, if Cameron Sarton, get his thoughts on how that run went down for
Past the
himself
42,
after
past
getting the
the-
stage win. Cameron Sarton, it's Sam and
Extra
Trevor.
Cameron
one
Sarton
car.
got the stage. Joshua Altus, Tyler Thomas, and a few others coming on down pit road. So it looks like Cameron will be the leader.
Yeah, Phil.
You're going to gain a few spots here, sir.
Dover's one of my better tracks. Bustler's pretty fast there, so just trying to keep pace with them early. Saw some guys pit behind me, so I knew.
Not too shabby, Brian. P7.
If I stayed out right there, and caution about 5-6 laps later, so took a gamble, missed a couple of wrecks, and had a good little battle with Travis there at the end. So hopefully you can capitalize on it and with the clean air and get a win finally. But it feels good to get a stage
Hey,
win.
Bryant, I got 4 tires over the wall.
The 4 cars that stayed out all come down.
No, excuse me, 3. 3 tires over the wall.
What's going to be the key here to the second half of this race? To
Most of these drivers have 2 over the wall.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to when to push and when not.
Yeah.
Because clean air is huge here.
All right, so Cameron was last on pit road, lap 89.
Cars so fast.
Lap 91 for Travis Starr and Andrew Medlin.
82.
Zach Hall was on pit road, lap 93.
We have
Lawn.
So
136
these guys
laps
are going to
to
have a
go.
little bit older than you.
So
Let's
people
get
will be
some
able to
long
gain a
green
few
flag
seconds.
Actually, scratch
runs
that.
in. That was a
You
run.
were wrong numbers.
Everybody, yeah, I was giving you wrong numbers. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, this don't look
A lot
right.
of
And
new
then all
drivers still trying to get acclimated to each other on a short
like, wait a
track.
minute,
I get
no, we're not
But
there.
Let's
What
get
am
a
I
long
saying?
run
Thanks,
in
guys.
here.
Well, that's going to go.
Yeah, everybody on to lap 62,
Sarton, who will
all the way through.
lead after the 4 drivers I listed off. Designed to pull
I'm just going to be quiet now. Is that okay?
All right, man, we're going green.
Oh, you're good.
Stand by.
Points,
All
but
right, man,
these
line
most
up on the
recent
inside row.
incidences, drivers have called it a night early. Trey Jackson in the 55, most recent driver to pull his
I saw lower numbers than you and got optimistic without thinking.
required damage. Tony Brent, 28, and Nick Holland, both with required damage, as they were both caught up in that after the yellow incident. Well, the drivers on screen, we know the driver that's on the bottom, that's Andrew Medlin. Travis Dart as well, going to be starting in second place. Let's see how these 2 drivers going to set up this restart, because Travis.
All right, buddy, you are on equal equipment this time, starting much, much closer to the front. You got this.
Well, big shout out to our producer, Robert Moore Jr., for getting these cameras set up for these drivers. Let's see what it's like to restart at Dover, as some of the drivers in our top 3 on cam. And Trevor, I'm excited for this one.
How bad is
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this restart's going to go. Travis Dart with a great run for himself up there in second. How he's going to restart. Andrew
ready.
Medlin, I mean, we know he's quick on short tracks as well. Going to be restarting there in third.
All right, pace car's peeling off.
Pace cars in.
Inside look at how these restarts go here at Dover with both these driver cams pulled up.
Who's going to survive? Who's going to get through the gears cleanly? Let's find.
Ready.
As Space car pulls up.
Ready.
Flag, green flag.
Go, go, go.
This Impact Sim Design 200 back underway. No more stage racing. It's all about the win. And here we go. It's the drivers.
Still got a fender on the 2. Bottom line's yours.
Roaring into one to go.
Got a fender on the 1.
For instance,
Got to come off door to door.
with Travis Dart using the paddle shift
Still
on
there.
the wheel to get up through the gears, but Zach Hall with the best restart, I think, out of everybody. He's going to get to the outside of his teammate Andrew Medlin. Almost had him clear
Still there.
halfway down the back straight, but going to have to be side by side with him here into 3 and 4, and that's going to be the battle for third position.
trying to take off like a rocket ship and moving up the fourth
Stay low,
is the
there's a car
goal.
on the high
Already
side.
up the
You're
fourth,
clear high, clear
third,
high.
and they make the pass. Trap starts trying to hold off the rest of the field. Is behind them. The mirror is looking full, and Cameron Sarton in the lead position, looking clear and good to move forward as it's a stack up for second on that.
Yeah, it's trying to get as many positions as you can while everybody's still stacked on one another. And I think Travis Martin said maybe the entire start
19 looking high.
just allowed Zach all to drive right past Midland and himself, and also bring the 14 to Christie.
Pulled it off too.
Got one outside.
Yep.
The pictures, he's out to the
Stay low.
outside now.
All clear,
Travis
all
starting
clear.
that battle for third.
As we're right on board with the 26, who was outside with the 14, bouncing off.
Somebody's holding us up on this bottom line, it seems like.
Looking up and
Yeah, the one I don't know if he's got damage or what, but he's not staying on the back end of the 19, two up in front of him.
he is
There's really nothing else
night long.
to make him check up.
Just kind of back here in traffic, and we're on board with the 18, I believe, here. Jacob Grant, see he's watching the battle in front of him between Stevens and Evelyn. But he's got the one of Will Russell to his inside. You can't really see it from his camera far in part of his inside. You can just see the one sneaking by there.
14 in front of you definitely has some damage. You're going to want that low line.
14 really looks like he's struggling since he got to that outside wall.
Yeah, really struggling to that momentum. I mean, you can see that outside damage was going to be tough to deal with. This lead group looking strong. That's our top 9, all in this team pack, looking to perform the best that they can. The entry of these quarters have looked very interesting on who's really impressive.
Yeah,
You
one
can see a
outside.
small opening. Looks like they were trying to attack, while others being a little bit more patient, like the 26. But
14 on your tight. Hold your line.
Whistler, the one on the aggressive.
Door to door.
Yeah, not at all surprised to see
Stay
Will
low.
Butler trying to work his way back through the field. We saw how quick he was in that opening run until the tire shine. He was kind of eat him up. But
Still there.
it's
You're
interesting
high,
to
Clear 14.
Start's approach to this, Sam. I think
Clear all the way around.
from seasons past, it was taking it easy here on the start
Got one
to save a
outside.
little bit of tire, maybe banking on having a long
Stay
groove
low.
by
There's a
run.
car on the high side.
2-6 door on you.
Points the fact that there's a
Stay
number
low.
you're chasing for 60. Once that's removed, and it's about getting to the
Stay
end of
low.
lap 200.
You're clear high.
Clear
Clear high.
2-6. Clear all the way around.
Race. Let's get prepared. We can have a long run here and wait for that.
All right, buddy. P6.
Jake Grant, though, in the 5th position. It's the highest the 19's been almost all season long. It's great to see him moving into the groove. I mean, looking a little bit more comfortable up front.
Yeah, it's good to see it. And, you know, like we was, I think I mentioned it earlier, was having a great run at Chicagoland last week till he got involved in a couple of incidents. So good to see him get that bounce back this week and get that out of his head and run it up here in the top 5, and maybe having a little look here to the Medlin, who I think Bustler getting held up, maybe feeling like he's getting held up by the one of the 32 of Zach Hall, and really aggressive on that rear bumper and kind of stacking these guys up.
Trying to catch up. Pressure on Cameron Sarton. Got the lead and now kind of being protected.
Second, third, and fourth all stacked.
After getting that position for himself, and a lot of this field trying to settle in, get prepared.
Yeah, I'm just kind of keeping a gap here in case there's a checkup.
I get you.
Looking at this fielder for basically
Saving a little tire.
drivers in line with one another, a little bit of battling for 8th place, but seems to be get in line. Hopefully you stay up front, pace yourself. Who's gonna have better tires for the long run, it looks like, for this group.
Yeah, it's going to be the real key here. Who's been too aggressive maybe early on? Who's saving maybe a little bit of tires back there side by side with Travis Stark and Campbell, but they get that sorted out quickly. And now our top 10 here, pretty much all single files out. Top 11 is Travis Stark, kind of on the tail end of that.
All right, 19's tired of playing mirror games with the car in front. Looking low. It's going to open up the hole for you.
I mean, Sam, he was in that first caution. The massive melee was in turn 1 and 2. And we saw him get involved in that, and he's had a
Good runoff.
Here in the 12, getting chased here by the 11 Tyler
The
Thomas.
lead is 24.606.
You're faster than the leader right now.
Himself and Tyler Thomas, currently 13th place, the highest runner of the next speed drivers. They've had a tough night so far. Have been heavily damaged and trying to get back to this race with the damage repairs. Right now, setting up, trying to get by Ross Tatum, and also Alex Jones behind the 11. The pressure on.
Yep, pressure on. I think a lot of the Texas speed guys were involved in that first caution we had in turns 1 and 2, and then we saw
You were solid on that bottom line through the corners.
on that last caution, or right there at the stage, Tyler Thomas trying to fly the flag for Texas speed, but having hold off at 45, who's looked good just to get those pit stops.
19's going to have a good runoff. Going to do nothing with it.
In the move on the outside is the 11 of Tyler Thomas. See if he can get a better run off the exit. And he just setting up a run. Now back bounces.
Two cars really throwing it in on your back bumper, but he's got nothing for the exit, so you're beating him each and every time.
Left wait in line as this field out to get inching closer.
I am worried though. If he gets a nose, he might be able to do it.
Point here, Trevor, and we're down.
He'll have to hit the brakes because either that or he's going to wash up into you, and I don't think he wants to do that.
You see how those major wrecks just mounted on top of one another really changed the aspect of this race.
Yeah, it really kind of just turned it upside down. We had a great field to start the night, and then that 7-car wreck on the first caution, and then a couple of 2 or 3 car wrecks that have really just kind of taken cars out of the race has got us down now to that of 22 cars on the lead lap, and Paul Sketti gonna be the first car that's 2 laps down, but he's the only car.
All right, first and second starting to pull away a little bit from third and fourth. 19 starting to lose the car in P4.
It's a tough night for a lot of these guys from 23rd on back.
And Doug Pierce is trying to recover after missing the first 7 laps. Not automatically another 7 laps down, so at least he's gotten 2 laps back, but still a long night for the 39. As seeing the battling for 12th position, Tyler Thomas seems to be at one moment showing signs that he can catch up.
Good run.
But
You backed that corner up big time, didn't you?
Drivers ahead of him. We're trying to make some moves as Travis Stark, Jonathan Woods, side by side. The 2 on the outside.
Clear up. Nice pass. Way to set that up.
And get a look at this. The 2 might be set up to be losing more than just 1 position.
Yeah, I think Travis Stark finally starting to turn the look up here on just a little bit. Going to move, try to work his way back through the field as he can fall behind Jonathan Wood, but now able to get that spot back, and that's actually going to open the door to the 15 King Campbell to try to take advantage of that. And Woods losing a little bit in the minutes. Tight off the corner exit, but Campbell's going to get that spot clear and clear up in front of the 2. That's going to move him up to 9th position.
Jonathan Woods was really wanting to make sure he didn't lose any more positions. He falls in between Campbell and John Dark. Jonathan Woods, big positive that was taken away from the last season, getting the win at Daytona to start the season up.
A little over a tenth faster than the car in front that last lap.
At intermediate in a bigger tracks, and the 2 pretty good run so far. In 10th place, qualified in 12th.
That car looked like a modified that you just passed.
Looks like he is doing so. We fall back to 18th though. Ryan Wilson in a very odd spot where he's just in no man's land, where he's in 18th spot. There's no one really in front of him or behind for position. Kind of just dealing with some of the lap cars. Another driver that's in no man's land, Joshua Altis, who at one moment was running up front. It's just kind of just waiting for your caution to come out and get some damage repair.
A 10th plus faster each and every one of the last 3 laps than Medlin.
To maybe set themselves up for some pit strategies. We see here the 77 of William Duff down here in 20th, and Sam, even with that the hood missing on that 77 machine, he's up 12 spots from where he started. So with all the chaos and the damage he's had, been able to move up 12 spots into the top 20.
And Curtis Valechka had a little bit of a scare when he was trying to get by the 11, but he still having a good run, just trying to survive. It's always been key for the 44 as Peter Dillon. Got to be careful, lead lap drivers, and this 27 didn't look comfortable when he was forced 3 wide, and he continues to fall backwards, dealing with damage, but also one of those drivers that's trying to learn on how to get better at oval tracks. This is 27, who's a road course competitor. So when we go to a road course, expecting big things, but up front, Will Bustler has moved up to 2nd place, and the 1 is trying to find a way to catch up with Cameron Sargent.
Yeah, trying to catch up to him. He got to his rear bumper a couple times watching him get through the field, and then now starting to fall back just a little bit from the 24. So maybe Will might have used up the tires. Maybe he's pulled them off for a couple of laps to try to mount another charge. The 24 as they come up.
Leader's last lap 24.90 or 25.08. So about a 10th off.
This could cause issues. I mean, we've seen a couple of
They want to go low here.
You see Valechka there with a big moment out of 4, and Bustler having to take evasive action as they try to get around that 44 machine.
Yeah, Bustler having the biggest loser of that situation as he was so momentum and cutting down low, but it allows
Cameron Sargent right now has about a 7/10 lead over Will Bustler.
Bernie teams thinking about Zach Hall coming off last season.
You're sitting P5, up 19 on the day so far.
His most dominant driver, really the only person that was closer was Tatum, who sadly came away with 7 second place finishes. Right now, Zach Hall, he's want to get back to that win column, get to do so tonight that night.
I mean, could be. You just got to not make mistakes on pit road on the green flag pit stop.
His completes 30 laps since going back to green.
The leagues we covered where he's made mistakes on pit stops, and gotta make sure you get those down and down pat so you don't have those issues for himself. But right now under pressure from his teammate there of Andrew Medlin, same. I think I saw the 94 of Joshua Altus up there.
Yeah, I was trying to see if it was required damage. Looks like his scheduled stop for the 94. Did a pit road for tires and fuel to get back out there on track. I think for Joshua Altus, expecting this race to kind of turn into more of a wreck fest after the stage rig was done. Maybe wasn't expecting this race to turn into a long green flag run. Luckily, the 94 clean in, exiting out. But the issue when you come into pit road, find yourself only going 35 miles per hour. That is a crawl with the rest of the field, climbing up to 165, almost 170 miles per hour after fastest.
Yeah, I think you pretty much go 2 laps down whenever you make a green flag pit stop and then have to wait for it all to cycle out. And I'm not quite sure what the fuel run is going to be. I'm assuming somewhere around that 60 to 70 lap mark, you'll probably see these guys come down and pit. So early stop there for the 94 machine compared to what I think our leaders could run.
Looking really solid. Each of the lap cars have been showing quite a bit of respect and going high.
Especially to make their first pit, make their pit stop, they could just barely make it to the end. Let's
Got a lap car coming up now.
a little bit sooner as our leaders getting by lap traffic the best that they can.
You've got the line
Clear
clear.
high, clear
Halfway
high.
point of this race. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back, we'll give you more racing action here on the Full Set Racing Series. A lot of racing action still to be had, and we've still got 100 plus laps to go at Dover. It's the Impact Sim Design 200, race number 3. There, right after this.
You just ran the identical time to the leader. Clear up. Faster than the leader that time. He ran at 33, you ran at 25.
Got one outside. You're
Clear
clear
up.
high, clear high.
Right now, leader has 7/10 over P2. You continue to be faster than Dart. He's fallen back about a good 2.5 plus seconds. Another lap faster than the leader.
They're 5 wide behind from fifth. Oh my.
5 right here. This ain't gonna work. They make it last. Bumping and banging to the end. They're beating Mega for the lead. Sora still with the shot here. Coming off a board. That's it.
It's
Bottom line, here it comes. I know Carter gets rid. It's going to be that Nick Woodford. The 74 gets through somehow, and they just completely demolish one another. Driving down low, drifting up, trying to be the stealer. Here he goes. Patrick Hunter. He steals it.
But he somehow drove it in the corner to wreck it.
Oh, they wrecked!
All right,
They
we're
wrecked each
halfway
other!
through.
The top two bounced into one another, just too much of side drafting off of, and they gotta be careful. Oh no, the 4 demolishes in the 28.
All right, but broke the century mark. Less than 100 laps to go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Full Send Racing.
Been out on track 42 laps now.
Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me is Trevor Earhart up in the booth. Rockmore January Productions in the background. And thank you for joining with us. If you're just joining now, well, we just got done with stage break at the end of lap 60, and we have been clean and green.
What lap numbers can be halfway on this stint?
We're scattered because lap traffic has been.
Okay, well, it'd be 70.
They've been.
So you're looking at 130.
Sorry, leads the way. Middle of the pack for that of 8th, 9th, and 10th. See on screen having a pretty good battle between themselves. It's Ken Campbell trying to get by Chris Stevens, as well as having lap traffic on the outside. This has been a wild one. Trevor, certainly this race, a little bit different from what we were expecting came into the season.
Yeah, a little bit different. I have a lot of cautions early on now, a long green flag run, so we'll have to see if that can, keep up. And maybe green flag pit stops from these guys. We've already seen a couple, and here comes the 19 of Jacob Grant off of pit road as he made his pit stop. And
Zach Hall looks like he might be starting to get a little loose.
Jacob Grant, part of the SMB.
He's 2 up from you.
Team that's also Joshua Altus, kind of both with very different strategies for most of major undercuts from what we were expecting this field to attack with. And we're aiming maybe at the zone of potentially lap 120 to maybe lap 140.
Loose off, tight on, loose.
Their final pit stop of the night. If we stay green, there's still a lot of wide open areas.
Yeah, loose off, tight in.
They go. But as this race stands right now, it's Cameron Sarton, Will Hustler, your top 2 with Zach Hall, Andrew Medlin, and Ryan McCann finishing out your top 10. As we have ourselves a little bit of a quiet period of this race, we want to give a huge shout out to the major sponsors here at Full Send Racing Series. Starting things off with Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing. Go head over to buttkicker.com. Check out Camera 2. Make sure that you're having the best experience with iRacing. So you have the best way. Instead of just hearing the sounds, why not feel the sounds with Butt Kicker? And as well, once you get your butt kicker, you need to attach it to something, which is a racing rig. And where do you get a racing rig? It's at next.
Got a lap car coming up.
NextLevelRacing.com have a variety of different packages of racing rigs you can get, from an highly expensive, top-of-the-line racing rigs to some of their more recent packages that they've made a lot more affordable here to put your racing.
Yeah, he's having a hard time controlling that thing.
And if you're looking for a button box, go
19 high.
Gerson Studios, as Gerson Studios, one of the best button boxes that you can get. Seen their commercials, if you've been watching since the beginning, go head over to Instagram or Facebook to grab your button box today. And as you get through your day, you gotta find a way to fund your entertainment. Well, listen.
Next time at the line, you'll be starting lap 110. 20 more to go to pit.
Other great platforms.
Hey, Charles, thanks for the like.
Podcast. Farmer Throttle Podcast. Great to have them as a sponsor. Well, Trevor, sponsors are done. Now it's time to look at some of the strategy calls these drivers can make. And on the move is Jake Grant, but he's on the old tire front end lap himself.
Yeah, I think what's happening here, you're going to have the 2-stop strategy versus maybe a 1-stop that I don't know if these guys can make it to that overlap.
That 19 that just went by, he was last in on lap 101, so 10 laps to go.
To make that 1-stop work.
So that was him just trying to get his lap back.
But it's going to be the difference in tire speed, and I think you're going to want those tires over maybe the 1-stop. We're going to have to see where this 19 cycle.
And obviously by pitting that early, he cannot go the distance.
Usually when we talk about times to come into pit road, is our leader trying to get by that of the Ford machine of Dave McConnell, trying to get out of the way. But we're seeing drivers, major differences in pace. You've got drivers that are dealing with heavy damage.
All right, catching a lot of traffic here, buddy.
Cautions in our stage 1. Then you've got drivers that are just on between, just the pace isn't there. You've got our leaders that are trying to lap drivers and people lapping themselves with fresh tires. It's looking like madness right now on track of who for our leader in this current moment of who's going to get by who.
Clear up.
One Will Bustler trying to find a way to get through this traffic as quickly as possible as well.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do when you're dealing with lap traffic.
Jonathan Burt just pit from P31.
And you're trying to hold off guys,
What's the gap from me to the leader?
When we came back,
From you to the leader is 2.5.
3 and 4, might have been 1 and 2 as he was trying to get by, and that's just things that you have to deal with here as you work this lap traffic and trying to catch up and keep pace with everybody around.
These drivers are some trying to make their pit stop now. One of the Texas Speed Drivers. Jonathan Burke hits pit road, and as well going to be Peter Dillon. Both are lap down at the time, making their pit stop.
Still there.
You're down to 16
You're
drivers
clear high,
on the
clear
lead
high.
lap currently as Cameron Sarn trying to build the lead as big as possible. Zach Hall going to be in third, but Andrew Medlin, one of those drivers, is trying to close in the gap the best that he can. But again, the amount
Working lap 115.
what's terrifying the drivers is Will Bustler's got 2 lap cars he's trying to get by.
Yeah, they're going to get around there. The 10 of Jay Becker, and I hear Brian Wilson. I think he's going to work
I
his.
think pit road's going to start getting busy here right around the same time as you.
A little bit of contact between the 9 and the 1. Down the back straightaway, but Bustler gets.
Just remember, pit road speed 35.
Zach Hall just kind of riding behind, watching all this unfold right in front of him.
Well, Zach Hall now has to figure out how to get by the 3 lap cars that are now in between himself and Will Bustler.
Got one outside.
Cameron Sargent getting
All
by
clear, all
Olsen
clear.
Kay, and Lechner was right on top of 32. You can just see the amount of drivers that are in front of this 32 machine. You think, okay, the driver directly in front of them. This 4th position? No, it's 3 drivers ahead. That's 4th position.
Yeah, it's kind of odd to see Brian Wilson just kind of
Outside.
off pace like this. I haven't seen
All
that much.
clear, all
I
clear.
haven't seen him off
2.6 up to the leader.
in a while, so I'm really struggling here tonight. But yeah, Zach Hall.
Sticks is coming up behind you. Brand new rubber.
And then now add another lap car is the 44 Curtis Kolechka, another lap down that he's going to get by before he can even think about running down the one of Will Bustler, who might put Paul Siketti again in between him and Zach Hall as the lap cars just continue to pile up in between those two.
And so sometimes positive.
Still
You
there.
got lap track all around.
All clear, all clear.
Have them kind of as a bumper.
19's falling off with Zach Hall quite a bit now.
Medlin saw there trying to get through the field. He's got Brian McCann, the 8 machine winner from last week. Got to be trying to figure out how to get through this traffic. Zach Hall had a quick scare there with Fletchko off exit 2.
Yeah,
You're clear
go
high,
to the
clear
inside
high.
there. Kolechka, I think maybe he's going to go to do something corner. Gets
up
by, and
25,
looks like everybody able to get by him with
2,
Medlin, McCann by, and here comes Wilson out on the inside, a couple others. Kolechka just doing his best to keep that car.
All right, buddy. Next time by is 120.
With that, I mean,
Whenever you feel comfortable.
allowed Medlin and McCann to close in. Here's Travis Dart after trying to save a little bit of tire early
6 car coming high.
down these guys. He's kind of
Stay
down
low,
that
there's
lap
a car on
traffic.
the high
That
He
side.
backed
You're
off.
Clear high, clear
I
high.
got
I don't think he has the motor.
looking like we've got some class different racing, looking like some modifieds. See Travis Dart on screen.
Oh, yeah, he's looking like a modified,
All
yeah.
clear, all clear.
Black traffic, these vehicles. And
That's a problem.
Yeah.
The fact that these drivers
He's good getting in, but no speed coming off.
bumper, yet they're still able to drive and try to get every position possible. That being Jonathan Burt, Tony Brett, and Jay Becker just trying their best to get through this field and get through the night as we have 8.
Nobody else has come down pit road yet.
Jay Becker right there in front of Travis Dart. You got no front bumper, no.
Everybody in front of you and behind you. Last was last in on lap 62.
I don't know if that car has a spoiler, to be honest with you. Saying that car is so wounded, and it's right now is Travis able to get by him. And here the 45.
The only car we've seen with new tires was the 19 when he went on by a while back.
I think
He is sitting in P19 right now.
now running in that 14th position, just having a nice quiet night for himself.
Yeah, but still it's up 2 spots with Brady. So this 45 will take what he can grab. Sometimes that's just what drivers are looking for, is a day where you qualified well and you're looking for a good top 15 finish. For some, others aim for some higher spots. For Alex Jones, he's staying out of trouble, which honestly, how this race is going, that is the biggest thing that you can take away from these races.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what you could ask for, especially after how this race started. Just, hey, I'm going to stay out of trouble, see where I've ended up finishing. And right now, Alex Jones doing a great job running there in 14th position for himself.
No green flag pits yet.
Behind Tyler Thomas, the highest runner of
Got one
Texas
outside.
Drive.
Clear up.
Clear high, clear
As
high.
the rest of his teammates really struggling to just get away from carnage. Felt like they've had magnets on top of them when this race started out. I know it's fan favorite team out in chat. Tyler Thomas trying to hold on as he's actually being pressured. Jacob Grant on his rear end, forcing the 11B high. 19's already blasted the 5.
Yeah, already got those fresh tires there. And you see the speed difference between the old tires and the fresh tires.
William Duff in the 77 on pit road right now, right along with Curtis Velichka.
He's sustaining the first caution. Just having a nice, quiet recovery.
And that's the 44.
Maybe steal himself a top 10 finish.
And Ross Tatum comes into this season was expecting a lot. He's the season 3 champion. Last up
75 to go.
He's expanding car, and he's hoping to get himself a victory lane as soon as possible. Right now, at this time, Ross, he's got 1 top 5, 2 top.
The car you just saw there was Doug Pierce.
Third place last week. I mean, those are positions that you'll take here tonight. Is that just kind of a salvage evening?
Yeah, just not much you can do when you're kind of in a big wreck like that. You can see the little bit of right rear damage that he has on that car. He's trying to recover, but here's the 15 of Ken Campbell up in 8th position. He's got Chris Stitz right behind him in 9th as those two try to march their way forward. And kind of a weird night for Ken, Sam. I would kind of expect a little bit more speed out of this 15 machine, but sitting outside the top 5 hasn't had the speed as much as his teammates of Zach Hall and Andrew Medley.
And I think it's could be the fact that he has gotten a couple of graces of damage here.
You've got just about a second over Travis Dart and 1.8 back to Chris Stevens. The car that's right behind you right now, the 94, is not for position, looking low.
For these drivers, the next couple of races is going to be a lot more in Ken Campbell's kind of wheelhouse. We're heading to Michigan next.
Still inside.
Iowa in 2 weeks, and in 3 weeks we head to Homestead, Miami for these drivers. And this next 3 race stint, it's going to be 3 very different racetracks. But I think for most of the field, they're excited.
See if you can let him pull you on up.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited to kind of get into the big open tracks and see
They pitting shortly.
what we see.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
The shortest of tracks, but pretty fun track to go to. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the build. I mean, we got through Daytona. Chicago Lane gave us a pretty good sample size, I think, of what to expect here in tonight. Again, a potential same for a 3rd winner in 3 races.
26 inside.
Will Bustler, he has been on
Clear.
last and tonight.
That's a 6 car behind you again. Old Mr. Modified.
Break reverse and hit back into victory lane. He hasn't done so since season 3. And it's wild to think the 2-time champ has to come into victory lane in such a long time for the 24.
Pitting next lap.
It's still hard to go back to trucks last season where he didn't get a win at all. Apart from the crash to start the season off. Repeated that feat this season, but still has not found his way into victory lane. I mean, he was, what would you say, millimeters away from winning it at Daytona with that photo finish that we saw, but just hasn't found his way into victory lane, but looking strong for the night.
Certainly is, but a driver that just...
All right, you're set for all 4 tires and fill it up.
Stevens locks up coming into pit road. Caught
35.
Pit entry, black flag for the 14. And Brandon Colley in the 99 also going to be caught.
14 got black flag.
Exit of pit road. He's going to have to come back into pit lane.
That's Chris Stevens.
Pit stop. That's going to be frustrating for himself as some of the front runners are making their pit stops. Ryan McCann into pit road. Others get very loud over the radio thinking about pit stops in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, it's going to put them in that window, that one-stop strategy, but you saw right there with the 14 of Stevens. Got to be careful getting on pit road.
All right, clear out. Come on out.
To transition the car from the banking to the flat on the apron and get it slowed down, especially on old tires. And you saw the Stevens locking the brakes and sliding down to get the speeding penalty. So simple to do is you're carrying so much speed through these corners, 130 miles an hour, and you got to slow it all the way down to 35 to get to pit road speed.
An unfortunate circumstance hits the 45. Alex Jones, broken wheel well for himself. He's forced to come into pit road. Ryan Lynch having issues as well as Philip Chavez comes.
Good gap to come on up.
Required damage flags are just flying currently for a lot of drivers.
It just could be just from getting into that outside wall numerous times. Fitting in that right front tire and seeing these guys have these issues with these required damage flags.
Philip Chavez able to get into pit road, but he almost got clobbered by 3 different drivers. Ryan Lynch getting pit road as he's lost his whole entire front clip of his machine. And our drivers up front, it was getting very chaotic for that of 4th, 5th, and 6th. A lot of lap traffic that was getting around one another.
Yeah, just trying to deal with that. I mean, you got cars on different tires trying to work their way through. You see Altus, they're getting by the 26 of Travis Dart. I think Ryan Wilson was the other car that was able to get by him. And this is where you got to be careful. Old tires, new tires, differing pit strategies. And people trying to get line off their road.
Zach Hall, another victim with required damage to the 32. That's why he's been falling down through the grid quickly, as he's now going to have to come to pit road. Other drivers, our leader.
Ryan McCann goes to Plaid, 2385.
He's forced to come in and have 42nd hold.
25.598.
Green flag pit stops. I mean, it's just, we saw chaos under cautions, we saw chaos with the cautions, and here we are on green flag pit stop, Sam, and everything's just gone out the window.
Will Bustler came into pit road a lap earlier. He's just leaving his box. But the one who got the pole could be the first driver to look at to go into victory lane here if this race stays green. Travis Dart locking up his tires, looks to be hitting that 35 miles per hour limit. And now it's just Chris Ditz, Ross Tatum still out on.
Where's Cameron Sarton at?
Got one outside.
He's on pit road.
Have to wait and see what happens when they hit pit road. Sam, is it cooling damage in these cars, bent steering, or are we missing shit?
Did he get a penalty?
Motors that are
Nope, he just went in.
He's required damage for that.
I think it's just a bad hit.
Let's see, right now he is showing
Track, but it was just a little bit of extra
15.
spend in
He pit. Caution's out.
incidences, and another driver caught with a black flag.
Ooh, this should be interesting.
Yellow flag strikes. We're under caution.
They didn't announce anything for the 24.
10 laps, and kind of glad we got this caution, Sam.
Let's see.
See where everybody's going to
Cameron Sarton.
And it's the 39 of Doug Pierce.
Yeah, his pit.
Brings out the yellow.
No.
I hate to say it, but another innocent victory.
Yeah, his pit lap was 132. He must have, or something happened to him.
Dave McConnell going to be involved, but it all started off with Doug Pierce.
His pit time was showing, 55.15. He must have got a black flag. Yeah.
This was one of those drivers that was staying out and waiting for a late incident to pop up.
Yeah, well, let's see
Does
what.
that put him a lap down?
Yes, sir.
Biggest losers, we get the replay here. The biggest
He is back sitting in P20.
just getting tight on those old tires. Gets
Everybody
Pierce just nowhere to go. Gets into the back of him, bounces him
from
down.
fourth on back is showing one lap down. Tatum, Woods, and Thomas had yet to pit. Grant, Stitz, and then yourself. You are the
Or it's nowhere.
second car, one lap down.
And it's going to be having Dave McConnell as well as Doug Pierce require damage. Doug Pierce was
Car,
to be
thanks,
taken and
Got
has
the lucky
called it a
dog, let him by on the
1939.
outside. Catch the
McConnell, that's the
28
second
car.
time he's had a major incident, but it's a blown engine because that might be fully done. And with the timing of that yellow, it actually trapped everyone from fourth on back, one lap down. But luckily for them, we're going to have our leaders coming to pit road. And so it gives a wave around for most of the field. Trapped 2 laps down and might not be coming back from this is William Duff, Chris Stevens, Cameron Sarton, Peter Dillon, Curtis Valechka, and as well Cole Sacchetti. Now, some of those drivers were already dealing with major damage, but it's Chris Stevens.
So let's see.
that really
Pit road
get
is
hurt
now
here.
open.
I'm on the lead lap now, though, right? 6.
You will be once they pit, yeah.
You get caught that extra lap down, and thankfully for them, they can get the wave around. But now they're going to have to fight each
You'll be able to take the wave around.
the lucky dog position. Alex Jones also after his required damage flag. I think it was the same as Zach Hall, so probably I think eight or so seconds.
There you go.
Get
Yep.
that fixed.
15th on back.
And it's going to be a pretty big fight there for that lucky dog position, Sam, and that might be where we see
Catch
maybe another caution
17
happen.
car.
As some drivers hoping that they'll get an extra lap back. Looks like they're going to be having to stay where they're at currently. Jonathan Woods, extra time in pit road, get those repairs done. But Ross Tatum, Tyler Thomas, going to be our front 2 drivers expecting, as Jake Grant was given the lucky dog spot. The 19's going to hit pit road, giving the lead position to the 21 and the 11.
Played the strategy right. I mean, stayed out longer than everybody else is going to get the track position here, get that clean air. And Tyler Thomas and Ross Tatum doing a great job with the strategy call. Jonathan Wood's going to restart in, I believe, 3rd position with Chris Stitz.
P6.
And I think the driver now that you have to watch out for is going to be that one of Will Bustler, who's going to restart around that 6th or 7th position.
But they're going to be on slightly older tires for Will Bustler, Andrew Medlin. I think for Andrew Medlin, Ken Campbell, and Zach Hall, as well as Christopher Norris, they're in a spot where
Wow, that last pit stop was a 15:51.
possible to get out
Yeah.
for. He had a black
My tire's about gone.
came out. He's going to have to pull up pit road under green flag conditions.
Oh, it's just hard. It's going to be heartbreaking there for Christopher Norris to have to come down on green flag conditions and serve that penalty. But I mean, just on bad timing when the
Everybody from 14th on back is still one lap down.
I just realized that Tatum, Thomas, Woods, all going to have those fresher tires over that of Stitz, McCann, Bustler.
You got a great spot here.
9 lap fresher tires does. I mean, they're going to be on
2 tires, but I don't think we'll really need 2
All
tires.
right, man, we're
anywhere
going green
between
next
5
time
to 7
by.
lap
All
fresher
right, man,
tires
line up on the
than the guys
inside
behind.
row. Pit road is closed.
And with
That's
that
the
being only
8 car.
13 drivers on the
It's
lead
the
lap,
17
how is this
car.
restart
It's the
going to
28
handle?
car.
Brad McCann on the use of tires and those
Let the
up front.
28 car by. Let the
As the field
42 car
Gets
by.
a majority of the field, gets the wave around, get ready, take off,
Let's
get
go,
to
you
green
guys,
flag
let's
Light you
action.
back on the pace car. We're not
As
going
we
green
have
this time.
less
We are
than
not going
60
green.
laps to
All right,
go
man.
here
Light you
tonight.
back on the
They
pace
are
car.
Tell
We're
me to
not
let those
going green
cars
this
that come
time.
out of
We
the
are
pit
not
by.
going green.
the fact that the majority of the field is taking a wave around. It was going to take way too long to finally get closed.
Let's see where it lines you up.
It's going to give us an extra lap, and I mean, Trevor, we're still trying to catch our breath after that chaos.
Not going green this time.
They're on track.
Checking up.
This has got to be a wild thought for Ross Tatum,
Let the
Tyler
28
Thomas,
car by.
and also for
Yellow
Jonathan
flag
Woods.
came
The
out.
fact that they're still in the fight here.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're Ross Tatum. I mean, you were probably
That's
thinking you were out of
19.
this, no
That's
chance. After that wreck you had, Tyler Thomas avoided a couple. Jonathan Woods has been.
All right, scoring is showing you
This is puts him in a
P5.
position to have a good finish for himself.
Yeah, a lot of lap cars in front of me though.
Happens here. If you
Holy cow.
you never know where you're going to find yourself up in. And these three finding themselves in a pretty
77,
good
what are
position
you
here in the
requesting?
final, 60 laps of this race.
And an awkward position.
All right, man,
Well,
we're
this
going
is
green
funky.
next time by.
Around or not,
Three
but
that are
if
going to be
there
on this
wasn't, obviously-
restart
or if there was,
are
I
going to be
wouldn't
up
have hit it,
front.
obviously,
But fourth
just wanted to
place,
know.
Chris Stitz, is going to be mired about 10 trucks. I mean,
Well, you needed
10
to
cars,
stay
excuse
out
me, back
in order to get
from
it.
our
That's
top
why
three.
you pitted, so
And
you
then it's a
wouldn't
long
have
train of
gone
other drivers that just have to
You
wait
needed
I
to
guess
stay
we'll
out to get the waiver
see
out.
on board with Chris.
what happens here. So
Gotcha.
it's going to be Ross Tatum,
It's next
Tyler
position.
Thomas, Jonathan Woods, Chris
Are on the
Stitz,
inside.
you, Will
You
Bustler,
left
Andrew
guard,
Medlin,
that's the
Ken Campbell, Zach Hall, and Chris Norris
One of them also
as the top 10.
2x2, but
Might be able to play some games with the lap down cars.
While they're on the inside line, so Stitz, McCann, Bustler, Medlin, all those guys.
Oh, wow.
I need another
That's-
caution to get around them.
Brandon Collins.
Yeah. Well, the leader's got a lot of damage to the right rear. P2, the 11, it looks like he's clean as a whistle. The 2 right now sitting in
Get
P3.
ready.
He's got some issues.
They are going to have to drive through.
So I think
Restart.
you may not have too many issues.
Bring out another-
They're going to be slow.
It's time to find out.
I can't pull out here. It's in the rules though.
56.
You can't pass up high?
Go here
Green,
in
green, green.
over
Car,
the
21.
Cindas
Go, go, go.
200. About to get underway. Ross Tatum, Tyler Thomas. We're back to green flag action.
All right, man.
I think Will did a violation.
Tatum and Woods. Thomas
this
didn't
time.
get the greatest of starts,
Outside.
but really no pressure out back from him. So he's got all the lap cars
Clear
between
high.
him and Chris
Outside.
Stitz as the top three all single file their way out. But it's going to be behind
Clear
them. You see
high.
Josh
Clear
Waltz shoot the middle there of the lap traffic, and everybody trying to sort their way out as Stitz and all those guys trying to work their way up through this traffic.
Got a little bit of a hornet's nest coming up.
Of this
Way to keep low.
side to give space for Chris Stitz and others, but it's clogging up.
Keep it down, 3 wide.
This field is going to be 3 wide in front of third, fourth, and fifth.
Slow car on the bottom.
4 wide for a quick second.
There you go.
Stacked for wide as drivers trying to give space to one another. Somehow they make it through 1 and 2.
I don't know how they made it through that. Will Bustler, the biggest winner out of all that. He's going to
Good job, sir.
That was fun.
That looked like it.
push his way to the outside. Bustler not wasting any time, but saying, I can't believe they made it through 1 and 2, 4 wide like they were.
Yeah, and the problem is the 27, Peter Dillon. He's just falling back quickly. Luckily, he's gotten out of the way. Chris Norris also has got
45, about to make it 3, backed out.
trying to survive and stay afloat as those that decided not to take the wave around are being
52 laps to go.
This is what a difference of over 10, 12 laps looks like on top of heavily damaged vehicles.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
All
everybody's
clear,
trying to
all
get
clear.
everything they can. You can see the speed difference tires, damage, and everybody's working their way through the field. Ken Campbell here trying to follow through and see what he can find. He's got his teammate Zach Hall right behind them as I believe they're trying to run down Medlin, who's in front of them. You see the 9 of Wilson there, and here comes Travis Stark. He's going to look to the inside and try to pick off a position here.
That's for 6th place. Zach Hall again dealing with required damage that he got to get repaired. His rear end heavily damaged for himself. As drivers were trying to get into pit road, the drivers were not able to slow down in time. That's why we had that rattling off of drivers under green flag conditions that had required damage. It was just drivers trying to go into pit road, running over one another, and getting the damage that utterly has ruined some potential great nights for themselves. As St. Andrew
Our top 4 just got back, nose to tail.
lead back as our top three have kind of scampered away. As Joshua Altus has unlapped himself the hard way. It's fourth place Will Bustler. After getting by all the lap traffic, he's still 2 seconds back from our lead.
Yeah, 2 seconds back, and I'm really interested to see what kind of lap times he's running. I mean, he's on
Outside.
Good exit.
Did that of Ross Tatum, Jonathan Woods, and Tyler Thomas.
Door.
All clear, all
Clear.
All night long, looking at the lap times there, about that of 2/10 to
P5.
than Ross Tatum was that last time by. So he's closing in on these guys, but saying they got fresher tires, and then I think they'll be able to hold off this one machine.
Hold off the one, but will they be able to hold off Brian McCann? Is
You're back.
faster than the one machine. And trying to close in this sprint. And as well with some of the drivers that were dealing with some of the heavy damage and all the lap traffic, there's still some drivers we got to be careful of that potentially could bring out some yellows if we get back into that very heavily clustered lap traffic, as we're expecting everyone
You're a full 10th faster than 4th, and almost 2/10
stop
faster than 4th the last lap. So you're reeling them in.
Yeah, I might be overdriving.
You can do with the damage car and you can see here as he's rolling through trying to kick
2/10 that lap.
and catch up to the one of Will Bustler as we jump on board here. With this is Ross Tatum.
What's it look like behind me?
You see Woods doing
You got 1.2 back to Medlin.
Tyler Thomas also. I mean, the top three saying all within about 5/10 of one another. Jonathan, what you
If I
got?
overdrive, he's going to end up passing me.
side damage that selected in the outside wall. And this two's doing a great job.
He's got a lap car between you and him.
Thomas, but these all three of these.
So if you want to manage what you got,
It's going to be a
I keep an eye on the distance between until you've got to start racing again. And hopefully those guys up front, they've been pushing, knowing that they had to get through all that lap traffic.
Quick off laps.
They might come back to you also.
To 3/10 quicker. He and
Those cars in front of me that I see, is that the leaders?
catching him.
Yeah, Bustler and all them. Yep, that sure is.
On top of one another, that can be really tricky for the one of Will Bustler to try to make these passes. But he is slowly gaining on these guys as these laps continue to tick away.
And as this group of three
The lead
just
is
trying to
ended
hold
up
on, how will
0.6,
Nick Collin
9,
also
8.
influence this race in 13? It's going to be a lap down driver trying to get one of his laps back. Will the 13 be influence? It's going to be the key thing to watch out for as the rest of the field just trying to survive. But Tyler Thomas, I mean, what a night he's had. Caught up in two separate wrecks, but still has the at least
So you got Bustler, then you got a lap down car, and then you got Tyler Thomas.
he will fight for a chance here with top three finish.
That puts him here. And I mean, he was running right behind Ross Tatum before green flag pit stops and all the chaos ensued. So, I mean, he has speed to keep up with the 21. And they weren't too far behind Jonathan Woods, even with Ross having the wounded car and Tyler as well being caught in a couple of wrecks. I mean, these three were pretty close on pace, and we can see it here as they're all on top of one another. But it's going to be the cars behind them saying, even though they're on older tires, that are catching these guys at a pretty quick rate.
Damaged, newer tires may not be enough. Will Bustler is got by Nick Collins. So now the driver
Oh, Medlin's also 5 lap better tires than me, too.
who has climbed his way forward on
Yes, he is.
the restart. Will Bustler was 4 seconds back.
I'm not looking too good here.
Less than a second as we ride on board.
I need a caution.
He's got
40 laps to go. 40 laps for any caution chances.
Yeah, looking at his lap times, though, that time even with getting around the 13 of Holland with about a 10th slower. McCann's dropped off to 2/10 slower, so maybe those tires are really starting to equal out with one another.
Clear high,
I think
clear
if you're
high.
with Bustler, it's not what you want as you continue to try to close in this gap on Tyler Thomas down to about that of 1 second to Ross Tatum as he about 6/10 of a second to the back of Tyler Thomas.
I think the big thing for Will Bustler might turn into if there's lap traffic that starts to billow out later on in this
Medlin's got some right front damage.
influence this.
That might be why he hasn't actually already been up here.
Also could be a time to just settle in, protect those tires as
I just saw one car smack the wall.
gaining, who's been losing.
Yeah, Medlin's whole right side is smashed in a little bit.
White, that top driver, is moving out the rest of the field, and I mean, looking pretty good for these drivers up front.
Yeah, looking good. And
He's running me down, though.
lap traffic saying that could really help, kind of spread this field out.
Let's see.
Spread out a little bit between our top three, the top four is Ross Tatum, Jonathan Woods kind of starting to pull away here a little bit from the one of Tyler Thomas as he falls back into the clutches of what's going to be the one of Will Bustler as they close in. But looking at the lap times, I mean, it's pretty much equaled out between Bustler, McCann, and
I have definitely been overdriving.
change that they had.
All right.
really starting, I think, come into play for Ross Tatum.
Back down at the field you need to,
Bustler and McCann.
But a factor that we really don't talk about.
unless you think they're already cooked. In that case, you just got to kind of salvage whatever you can get.
The vehicle and their pace being so much
You just tag the wall with the right rear a little bit.
these drivers for the long run pace compared to Will Bustler that had to be aggressive to catch up.
I think it's equaling it out. Typically with the Xfinity car, when you get damage, especially right side damage, it really tightens the car up, and you have to use a lot more tire than you normally would.
He's right in your tire track, so you're dumping all kinds of dirty air on him. He's not closing up anymore.
So had to push to get up here. It could have equaled it out a little bit quicker. It might come into play later in the run. It might hurt these guys, like Ross Tatum and Jonathan Woods, late into the run. But we'll have to wait and see.
He really threw it in there, but you pulled away on exit.
Equaled out the damage to the old tires.
And as he's battling the up front, top four, closing in still within 1.5 seconds to one another. Other close battles that are starting to ramp up is for the lucky dog spot. Alex Jones, Cameron Sarton are the two drivers battling for the lucky.
He's really throwing it in.
45. He's back trying to get.
Don't play his game.
Put a card.
Run your own race.
Cameron Sarton and the 45, but Sarton is closing in very quickly on this 45 machine.
Yeah, Sarton got around the 14 there. Chris Stevens going to close in here on Alex Jones. And I think Sarton driving a little frustrated trying to close in on this and put himself in a position to have that lucky dog spot. I mean, got to be going through his head what could have been.
I've killed my tire though. I need a caution.
Machine.
Best that he can at this current moment.
He's getting back in the throttle just a tad bit sooner than you, but he's killing the tires coming off. All I hear is him scrubbing those tires.
This current time, Ross Tatum is starting to gap out.
Me too.
Jonathan Woods and Ross Tatum. I mean, he won this racetrack last season when they were in the
He tagged the apron just a little bit. You're going to pull away just a tad.
shoot here at Dover. Get it done for 2 seasons if this race.
Big exit for him.
I think it's exactly this race has to stay green for Ross Tatum. I think to pull this race off, if it goes, we'll get a caution. I think he might be in some trouble along with Jonathan Woods and Tyler Thomas. But now Sam starting to pull away. We've got about a 0.5 of a second gap in growth.
I ain't gonna fight him too hard.
He's catching that.
I don't blame you.
He's going to allow the two.
17's coming up behind him. Maybe he can give you guys a little bit of space between each other.
I was initially going to say, I feel like it was the last time that we saw Ross Gill with Victor Lane was at Dover. I did the fact check on it. It is true. Last
Hate to get dumped here.
season,
I hear you.
Ross got into Victor Lane was at Dover, so this track has a little bit of magic for the 21. Jonathan Woods, he's kind of losing any type of hope as these tires, with them equaling out, this is incredible to see. Ross Tatum pulling away from practically the whole entire
Looking inside.
Yeah, even with all that right side damage, I mean, he just slowly starting to pull away. It was about to seem quicker than Jonathan Woods, and equally as quick as Will Bustler the last time by. Is Bustler trying to do battle here with the 11.
17 inside.
First one, another off at turn number 2. It's going to be that battle for third position. Bustler not quite clear of the 11 yet, but going to clear him down here in the 3 and 4.
Able to make the pass, now up to 3rd place. The gap is now over 2 seconds.
Clear low,
Other
clear low.
drivers to watch out for.
There's a train behind me.
Yep, 26 working his way in.
Maybe too big with 30 laps to go. But Andrew Bedlin and Chris Stitz have been on average
There you go, clear low.
better than our top 2 drivers.
Outside.
They are trying their best. The 12, 17, 5th, and 6th currently.
Clear high, clear
as they've gotten by the likes of Brian McCann and Travis.
All right, buddy, P8
Themselves a little bit
working 172.
not impossible, but highly improbable to happen for both.
Yeah, the odds. I think the odds of them running down Ross might be a little bit high, but I mean, closing in nonetheless on Tyler Thomas, Will Bustler, and those guys. I think Travis Dart as well, Sam. I think he actually just got around the pan, so he's trying to tag along with this group and try to close in, having a great run for himself up here in that of 7th position, trying to run down, trying to keep up with Stitz and Medlin as they try to continue their march forward.
And that's when Sneller's run for this 26 machine qualified.
That's Ken Campbell right behind you. That is a spot for position.
That's a great win running most of this evening for himself. It's less than 30 laps to go. The gap to first, Ross Tatum and Jonathan Woods. A little bit less than a half a second. It's the gap to Will Bustler that we kept on.
25 to go, next time by.
Ballooned out now back to almost 2 seconds. This is looking to be a Ross Tatum, Jonathan Woods. Who's going to protect their tires better? Who has the least damaged vehicle? As they're actually starting to catch back up to Joshua Altus, who passed them when this run started out.
Yeah, Altus, I mean, shot out of a cannon on that restart, went pretty wide, shot the gap, was able to unlap himself, but now really kind of starting to struggle late into this run. And this might be a hard pass for Ross Tatum to get by Altus as he tries to fight to stay on the lead lap and keep himself from having to fight for a lucky dog position, because if he gets passed here by Tatum, it's going to be win the 24 if Sarton catches him. That would be a battle for the lucky dog, but I don't think the 94 is going to give this up easily, and this could bring Woods back into this battle.
Well, even if your tires are worn, you're only about a 10th off the leader's time.
Does not want to worry about lap traffic. Joshua Altus is going to move high and lets the 21 pull forward. Last lap, Ross Tatum puts down a 25.2 second time. That was almost 2/10 faster than the rest of the field. So Ross Tatum's got another gear that everyone else needs to be worrying about as the laps continue to tick away. 25 laps to go, make it 24 now. As Ross Tatum continues to pull away, but for the fourth place runner, Tyler Thomas, he is being hunted and hounded, but still searching for his first ever top 10 finish. As the top 5 doesn't look to be looking too swell as Andrew Medlin setting up for this pass, and same as Chris Stitz.
Yeah, Medlin to the inside, Stitz trying to follow suit to just kind of see if Medlin can open the door for him, but Tyler Thomas doing a great job on the outside, gets a little bit pinched off the corner, but does a really good job holding off the 12 and keeping that momentum up in the 11 machine heading into the 1 and 2. They're still going to be side by side, but it looks like Medlin a little bit better of a middle part of the corner there. Might clear the 11 who has to get out of the throttle, and it's going to invite the 17 here of Stitz to his inside halfway down the back straightaway.
And looking at this field, the way they're falling backwards, the 11 is just pounding down the laps.
Tyler Thomas, P6, is right ahead of the guy, right ahead of you.
It's been a 20-second.
It's on green number 11.
19th last week at Chicagoland. But what a fun this could be after all the struggles. Tyler Thomas is hoping for this quick finish here tonight at Dover.
Yeah, just trying to hold on the best he can, trying to start. You saw almost got in the back of him with the clothing rate between the 26th and the 11. I think Thomas just dealing with maybe a little bit of tightness. You can see the little bit of right front damage that he has, and this could be kind of what we were talking about earlier, saying where that damage really starting to hurt those tires. Because he's got the 26 of Travis Dart, the 8 of Brian McCann, and then the 15 of Kim Campbell, all lined up to get to the inside of this 11 machine.
Setting up over the pass. Who's going to be able to beat themselves? Ryan and Sullivan here. Through this movement, McCann now down to the inside. There was a skate.
I can't get off the corner.
Yeah. Dover's really tight like that.
Wall, and it was forced to pit road with these older tires. This was around the realm that we were starting to see.
Anytime they're right on you like that, you can't open up the wheel and you can't carry any speed off. I get it.
Into this race with 20 laps to go, and
Thought I could get around him.
there, Dylan and Tyler Thomas did make contact, more damage to the right front for the 11.
Just trying to get by this lap traffic, and it's not like Peter Dillon or those guys are doing anything wrong. It's just how much that track narrows up off corner exit that you got to watch out for. And everybody able to get through, but a little bit more contact with the 11 and checked up the 8 of McCain.
There you go, good runoff.
Because they tried to that battle continues here down the back.
You got all kinds of clean air. Get it.
They just set up for these passes. Wherever you can find a position, you're hoping to grab just one more spot before this race is done. And Tyler Thomas has got to be the best defensive player ever right now. 18 laps to go. He's got to hold off laps.
Tried to do a high-low there, but that car behind me messed me up.
Yeah, he kind of threw it in.
Victory lane in the history of the Full Send Racing Series. So 11 is putting on a show right now.
Yeah, just doing everything he can. We saw Will Bustler do it on the older tires as well. Was able to hold off the guys off fresh tires for a couple of laps with his defense, but Tyler Thomas doing a really good job. Still just defending this 8 and 15, putting the car where he needs to not allow those two to get a run. As you can see, Campbell with a big dive, getting right to the rear bumper of the 8 of Brian in front of him, and has a really good run here off the corner. Just did not
there you go.
To maybe make it look to the inside.
And if anything, the 11 might be giving an opportunity for drivers behind McCann.
You had to try.
Brian has to make this move now.
He was slow off.
Yeah.
Zach Hall had a big launch off the exit of the corner. The 8 out of skid.
You clear the 1-5.
The outside, Zach Hall's going to back off. They got to be careful with this lap car. Backing into the mix, Cameron Sarton. How aggressive will the 24 be with this grouping that's getting bigger and bigger each lap?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for
He's driving in a mirror. There's no doubt in my mind.
and to see if these cars make contact and possibly bring out a caution for himself, and doesn't want to get involved because it would take him out of the
I'm
left.
having to do both.
24's got to get
Yeah.
24 Altus to be in that lucky dog position. So for Sarton, might get aggressive here to see if he can run down that 94 in case there is a caution.
Setting up every spot so critical for this race.
15 tag the wall. You're going to lose some time there.
It's been looking strong.
Give you a little bit of breathing room. Now, if you want to try to set it up high-low again, you got some room.
Get by the 15 machine. And those small mistakes, with how close this group is, any little bit of a mistake that pops up, you're going to lose at least one position or more.
Yeah, we act on top of one another. That little bit of lost momentum really is going to hurt. As Tom
I had to check up big.
Yeah,
Oh, 32 coming hard.
McCain just hasn't.
Bringing the 15
Almost.
with him.
He is a
Almost hit the wall there.
that's gonna
Gotcha.
all to his inside, and that's just more breathing room for the 11 to have is the amount McCain, Zach Hall, battling side by side through turns number 2.
Just run your own race, run the defensive line, don't allow them to get underneath you. And Tyler Thomas, 7th place finishes, looking great with 13 laps to go. Not to be 12 as Ross Tatum. His gap now a little bit under a
15 low.
The 21 looking good for now. Zach Hall now bounces up to 8th
Clear.
place, and he'll be the next drive to attempt to get by this 11.
Yeah, we'll see if Zach Hall, last season's champ, can do anything with the 11 machine. But we've seen everybody, once they got to the rear bumper of the 11, just mistakes off corner exit, haven't been able to get by him and lost time. McCain ends up losing 2 spots as Campbell also gets
10 to go next time by.
in a little bit deep to 3 and 4, trying to get that run off. As you saw high R through the middle of the corner, what a drive off he gets halfway down the front straightaway, looking to the inside of the 11 and turns into 1.
That reinforced setup really was massive, and Ken Campbell, he needs to get right before panel as soon as possible, and otherwise he might get stubbed. The better run, get up to the 15. Tyler Thomas, slight block, but wasn't able to clear the position. And Tyler Thomas, he had a valiant effort, with 10 laps to go. He stuck to the outside lane. He has to have the better run here, and he does. He holds off Ken Campbell.
Holds off Ken Campbell. Now got to get all the way to the bottom so he can get to the inside of Jay Becker there and send the damage car and
Clear up.
off Campbell again and see if Campbell can do what his teammate did the last couple of laps and get a really good run here out of turn number 4. But Campbell going to go all the way to the bottom, not use that through the center like we saw Zach Hall do, and Thomas going to have to block him here out of turn number 4.
The same units driver in front
That
of
11's about to catch the chrome horn.
You're not able to get the run that's necessary. And if anything, I think Campbell is just trying to put the pressure on, force the 11 to make the mistake. But with 9 laps to go, you've got to send to find the opening. As Tyler Thomas just a good enough launch out of turn 2 will defend once again. As now both drivers going with a little bit of a higher apex to get the better run off the exit of the corner.
And again, just kind of an equal run. Campbell again, not quite to the quarter panel to really stick his nose in. Thomas though a little bit high, the 1 and 2, and this could be the
All right, bud, you got the hole.
The 11's going to have the momentum as he pinches the 15 off the corner. That's still going to be side by side, and McCain just nowhere to go in the 8. Wait to see who he needs to follow. He's going to jump now to the inside of the 50, or to the inside with the 15.
Go low. There you go.
Able to clear the 11 and Thomas here out of 4.
Caution's out.
Well, that changes a
You got
little
the
bit.
caution.
And the yellow flag struck.
Ah,
As it was hard racing, but it backfired and more drivers piling in. Christopher Norris into his teammate. Oh no, the late yellow.
He did get the chrome horn.
yes, he did.
Must into a shootout at the end.
Well, this is going to get interesting. The strategy calls that are going to be made here at the end of the race. This is not what Ross Tatum wanted to see. And just hard racing, trying to
Hitting P8. Zach Hall and Travis Dart in front. Last time they were on pit road was 136, 137, 135 in front. Leaders last time they were on pit road was 140. So they're working on 60 lap old tires also, give or take.
They meet in the middle.
Everybody's gonna have to
everybody-
come down pit road.
Yeah.
And Ken Campbell going to get the worst of it as after
Close up, close up, close up. Don't give him any extra room.
the 15 to the inside. Starting at nowhere to go. T-bones the 15, which launches them back
All right, buddy.
into the field.
35.
For Norris. You would think that you would go where the smoke isn't, but 38 went to the smoke, and there was a car parked right in the entry point. And, heavy damage for the teammates that ran into one another there.
Yeah, I think Norris may be thinking that the 15 is going to fall further back down the racetrack, but
Oof.
Yeah,
That was another 35-60. I'm killing that right front.
just it's a pick of
That's
the
it. Go.
Well, you're doing what you got to do, but now, hey man, it's
team meeting
Go get it.
after the race. We'll talk that one through.
35 all the way out.
Sam, and this could decide the race right here.
Who's going to get out of pit road, because we know Will Bustler looks to be quick. He's going to be the furthest up ahead, but who would think about taking two tires? Who's taking four and off the exit? Looks to be Ken Campbell, Ross Tatum, Jonathan Woods going to be your top three. But Ken Campbell staying out currently, trying to get a bonus point, but Joshua Altis, he'll fall back. He's got the lucky dog spot. Ken Campbell, I'm
I think there's going to be a big one here.
I do.
He's just trying to get just a little bit of
I do. It's going to be a green-white checker.
pit road, because that vehicle is too damaged to keep on rolling.
I'm sitting 10th. I might just want to play it
Hey,
safe.
Jack, I'm up here right
Jonathan
here.
Woods, a
Need to
lot of
get in
damage.
between you
How are
guys.
they going to hold off Chris Stitz and Andrew Medlin?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, this is going to be a great
No problem, bud.
great finish for sure. As it looks like Ken Campbell
15
15 machine down pit road for himself. Sure, a frustrating night for Ken, but you know,
All right.
for Ross, Jonathan Woods, this restart's going to be important. If
Ken Campbell down pit road, so that's going to give you a spot.
Woods, Chris Stitz,
That's going to
Oh,
move
it
you
gives
up
me the
to
inside.
P8.
one another.
Yep.
That might be just enough that Ross needs to get this clear. But Sam, I'm watching out for that fifth place driver, Will Bustler. We on these starts and how quick
No, outside.
Oh, dang.
Right
8,
now.
yeah,
Yep,
outside.
yep.
for on
It was showing 9 on my screen for a little bit.
And also
Gotcha.
Chris Stitz. I mean, Stitz, we
Yeah,
know
until you pass
some
Ken.
big moves. Last time that Chris Stitz got in victory lane was at Charlotte last season, and he also won at Kansas last season. Ross Tatum and Jonathan Woods both sitting ducks. How well are they going to be able to defend the driver? Because I feel like wherever Ross goes, the
Well,
driver
now anything can
is
happen.
going to have the advantage.
Yes, again.
Yeah, whichever lane Ross decides to take, which I'm sure will probably be the inside line, they're going to have the advantage on this restart. It's going to be the question of if Woods can get a good enough restart with that outside line to be semi close to the 21. What's going to happen there with those guys? But I mean, we're going to have a natural green-white checkered attempt here, Sam.
It's looking to be so. 4
Well,
to go.
in qualifying, you kind of wrapped around the high side to build up some momentum.
I don't think we're gonna. We may not get the inside.
Can you do the same thing? You're already in the line.
Lap to allow the field to catch up with
All right, man, we're
the
going
rear
green next
of this
time by.
field.
All right, man.
Which, if they
Line up on
add
the
an extra
outside
lap,
road
that's gonna
now.
put us into overtime.
Yeah,
A lot of cars in front of me, though.
for
Yes, there
Ross
are.
and Jonathan Woods looks like they're getting lined up side by side with one another.
And they're wanting to do the same thing.
Side line. Interesting call from
Holding off
If they got the cojones, maybe.
Heads
But
up,
Andrew Medlin on the outside
car.
lane. There has not been a call.
Yeah, if I see a 3 wide, I'm going. I ain't backing out.
Side of a 200.
I want to get to the bottom, though. I don't want to be on the
Okay.
outside.
green,
Okay.
white, checkered. If we
That's gonna be
get
my goal.
the flag on this first lap, we'll head into overtime. But if we get the white flag, the gloves are off. This race turns into an official one, and it's all about who crosses the line first.
Doubt it's going to happen, though.
Drivers are wounded but have fresh rubber. Can they hold off? Chris Stitz, Andrew Medlin,
Ross Tatum and Woods both have damage.
The third row even have a chance. Where we find
Get
Zach
ready.
Paul and Travis Dart. It's time to find out. Thank you so much to everyone that's been with us.
Pace
It's been a
cars in.
blast to watch these drivers.
Pace cars in, close on up.
Design 200. Race number 3 of the season's been a blast with a full send racing series. Here
2 is also
Green
damaged.
flag, green
regulation.
flag.
Go, go, go.
Checker racing.
Ooh, outside went first.
Restart zone. Ross Tatum, Jonathan Woods. Here we go as they
You got a lot of room to run up there.
It's the driver up in second.
Yeah, it's a great start. This is
3 wide. You're up high.
Woods didn't get a good start. That holds up Stitz and Bustler. Now it's going to be
All right, clear.
Tatum. Travis Dart trying to make a move to the outside, but Ross Tatum with a great launch out of 2 is going to have about 3 car lengths on Medlin going into 3 and 4. That is Travis Dart able to clear the 17.
We got loose.
2 of Jonathan
32 is going to try off the loss of your momentum.
Here we go.
Keep on it. Keep on it. Keep on it.
Racing
Yeah, one
white
outside.
flag. They crossed the line before the yellow flag could have had a chance.
Zero.
Ross Tatum.
Shit was loose.
30. Yep, no doubt. 32 outside.
Andrew Medlin for one more corner. The 12 needed the launch of a lifetime
clear,
out of
all
2.
clear.
He's right on the quarter panel. Does he have a chance on the
32's got nothing for you. Look like a P6, buddy.
one? It's going to be the 21.
Good job, sir.
And Ross Tatum. Oh,
Plus 18 on the night.
Tatum with the damaged car holds on. Travis Dart on the
There you
last
go,
lap
man.
gets up
Good
to
job,
third as he
driver.
gets around the 2 of Jonathan Woods. It was the one of Will Bustler that we saw spinning to the inside out of turn number 4 that ends the one tonight coming to the white flag.
Thanks for all the good spotting and calls for me there.
And
Yeah, not a problem, man. I'm
are able to hold on. Jonathan
willing to hang out with you whenever.
Finish Sam with
Any Tuesday night.
a finish here tonight.
And we hyped on it all night long. Tyler Thomas.
Hell of a
leads the
race.
He does.
So pretty
I
much
can-
right where you've been all night
For
long.
the 11 machine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ross,
For Tyler Thomas,
maybe I
but
should
it's
give him
Ross
an EOL
Tatum
every week.
once again.
I can't believe it got loose there. That must have been why I think it was Will in front of me spun. And I did hit him, but I tried checking up to stay out of him. But then the next turn, I was just super loose when Zach was right on me. And I had a drift just like I was in qualifying.
Driver right after this.
Yeah. Well, you kept them behind you, and one more point. That was super loose. Look at ya. Wheels turning to the right, going left. Like you're dirt racing. Wee-haw! Able to hold them off.
I'm going to go back and look at that restart. That outside line, I wonder if he's going to get a... Go back and look at that restart. I wonder if that outside line is going to get a penalty because he did go.
Yeah,
Early,
he
I think.
absolutely did go. I didn't go on board with the leader to see if he spun him or anything, but he definitely went.
Well, no, Ross was he was the leader, right? So maybe he picked outside.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think... I don't know, I have to go back and look. Yeah, it's showing him P1 on iRacing. That must have been what it was. He was starting on the outside.
Gotcha.
Because I was looking at the inside to fire, and I saw the outside go. I was like, what? And it confused me.
Yeah. He definitely, I mean, he jumped on it. He was gone. And you can see all the damage to the right rear. He's had that damage almost the entire race. Damn.
I don't think I hit him.
All right, Brian, it says Michigan next week. 100 laps, 200 miles, stage break lap 25.
No,
It's a noontime race, so pretty much about the same as this. 100 laps.
Yeah, Michigan's all right. I like Michigan a whole lot better than Dover.
Yeah, I just broadcasted a race from Michigan last night for the Shake and Bake series. Usually they got about a 3,400 SOF for 30 to 35 cars.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, really good race.
This SOF is 2.6.
So not too far back.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the
Not too far back, brother.
show for the Full Send Racing Series. Race number 3 is.
All right, Brian, I will catch up with you pretty soon. Good race,
All right,
sir.
man. Yeah, thanks again.
Regulation
Very, very welcome. Have a good night.
action where Ross
too.
Tatum, damaged, wounded, able to hold off and finds himself into victory.
I don't
Ross, it's Sam and
know if there's anything. I don't remember anything. Go back and look at.
Season 5. Man, how are you feeling after this one?
Guys, that is the luckiest I've ever been.
There were some wrecks in front of me, but
I was so damaged from that first wreck. I had 37 seconds. I got
nothing
damaged, but my right front was definitely knocked
crazy
out.
I did anywhere. I don't
And
think.
I just had to do something different tonight to play strategy, and got lucky with that caution, man.
All right,
Just,
I'm out.
probably
Later.
better filling races